Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night, depending on what time zone you're in or what time you're watching this stream. We're actually live today. That's pretty awesome. How are y'all doing? I'm hoping everybody is doing well. You would think I would know how to operate this thing by now, but clearly I'm still having a little bit of trouble with some of these things. I've got the chat open on the side here. I'm hoping that I can kind of see this live, though I'm not sure quite how that works yet. I think this will be a bit of a learning experience for everybody. Let me really quickly check this out. All right. Oh, it's nighttime where you're at. 12:30 p.m. Oh my god, thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate that. Hopefully you're having a lovely weekend so far. I'm doing pretty good. 8 p.m. Man, it's only 2 here, so I feel like I'm kind of maybe I should run these a little bit earlier for you guys. Can you guys hear me all right by the way? Is everything good? Audio good? Hey. God, it's so nice to formally meet everyone in person, kind of, as in person as we can get. For now. For now. I gotta be honest with you guys. I'm a little bit distracted because a skunk actually died next to my window, and I can still smell that. They have a very strong smell after they die, just so y'all are aware. All right, awesome. Oh, you're nocturnal, just like me, which is partly why we're starting to stream at this time. All the way from Switzerland. Hello, hello. Oh, I love this. Can we get like just a general location from everybody? I'm kind of curious now with all the time zones. From Maine. Hello. I'm actually from Toronto, so it's 2 p.m. where I'm at. Awesome. The UK, nice. I've seen so many of you, like we've talked in comments before, but this is honestly, this is awesome. Getting to see you guys like just live. This is wicked. This is the dream right here. I love this. Texas, India, UK, Maine, all over. Poland. Wow. Tuscany. Oh my god. Washington. Hello, hello from the north. I'm waving down at you. How's it going? Well, welcome to the live, everybody. I've never done one of these before, so this is a little bit new for me. So anything that isn't going super smooth, hopefully we'll iron out the kinks for next time. Otherwise, hopefully it goes super well, right? Yeah, it makes it super. I love it. See, I'm just saying super so much because this is awesome. This is great. UK in the building. Yeah. So I had a question for you all. I had a couple ideas for what we do today, but I wanted to also leave the floor to you guys as well to some extent. What would you guys like to see today? Because we could do some live streams. I had an idea. A lot of people had asked me to do a video about who I am. And so I had asked like in the community, what are some of the questions that you had? And the idea I had was to actually do those live so that you guys could hear me kind of explain who the heck I am if you care at all. And if you don't, and you just want the reactions, we can totally do that too. I'm okay with anything. But how are people feeling? Like, what are we looking for today? I think everyone's a little shy. Well, before we get started, can we get some hearts in the chat for all the love that we have? I love this. This is the one thing I love about this community is just how much love we have. It's great. It's so nice. Such a beautiful thing to see. And we don't see a lot of it too often, you know? But here we see it all the time. That's probably one of my favorite things about the comment section is just how much love we have for each other. For whatever direction. All right. Sure. Why don't we start with Q&A? Do we want to start with a Q&A? Because that's kind of like one of the things I was thinking about was it'd be cool to kind of just for you guys if you have any questions. Also be a good time for that. Live and in person. Just walked in the door. Oh my god. How was camping? Camping's awesome. I've only been once, but man, the stars do not look the same anywhere else. So talk about myself, then reactions. All right, I like it. I like it. Cool. Okay, so before I talk about myself, does anyone have any questions that they have like a burning question for? Oh, what is it that you teach? Okay. This is kind of a funny question. So normally I only teach like two things in a semester, but I have taught many things in my life. So I actually have the ability to teach like math, science, biology, which is an extension of science, social sciences, guidance, but I've also done English and chem. So it's a lot of different things. um and then in terms of like the age that I teach, it is high school students. That's usually what I go for is like I don't really honestly the reason I want to do high school is I don't think I have as much patience as I would like in terms of being able to collect a group. So like that might have been difficult for me. But when I have like high school students at this point, they're kind of in and partly like when I was in high school, it was a time where I found myself very like in need sometimes of a little bit of guidance, and sometimes you don't always get to ask questions at home, so you ask them in person at school like to your guidance counselors and whatnot, and so I really wanted to get into a position where you can kind of help guide people, so it kind of always was into the emotional aspect of understanding people, and that's really where I was like, okay, high school people are emotionally like there's a little bit of instability, so maybe if I can help in that sense, that'd be kind of cool. And then I really want to do guidance as a result. And for those of you that don't know what guidance is, it's like guidance counseling. So like people will come in, either you're talking about their timetable, like what they're doing in classes in terms of what they're going to be taking next semester, or they have issues that they're dealing with in their life, and that's probably been one of the most life changing things I've ever done. I actually did guidance, and I've had some people come in with some stories that have just like changed my life, from them telling me about their experiences. And so that's kind of been what I got into teaching for was actually the guidance aspect of it, the mentoring aspect of it, but I really really do also enjoy the teaching aspect of it. Yeah, yeah, I guess it does make sense there. In terms of how did I get into music reactions and breakdowns? Quite honestly, I feel like I've always been doing them in my head. Like every time I watched a video or listened to a song, I think I spend obscene amounts of time in my mind going over stuff like that and then trying to understand what the real meaning was. This happens not just with music and stuff. Like if I'm watching movies, for example, recently I watched The Flash with my family, and that was awesome. But also, like the whole time, I was like, "Oh, I wonder what this means." Like, there's I'm not going to spoil it just in case someone wants to watch it here. But there's like certain parts in the movie where like, "Oh, I wonder if this means this or this means this," and then you start kind of going into all the metaphors, and I spent a lot of time in that headspace. So eventually, I was like, "Well, I mean, I'm doing all this anyways. Why not see if anyone kind of wants to enjoy the ride with me?" And then it turns out people want to enjoy the ride with me. And I love it because I got to meet all of you through this channel. And it started off kind of just like being like, let's see what happens. Let's see if people are interested to hear what I have to say. And now it's become like a damn, I want to get to know all of you. So this is kind of almost become like a little social like creation, a community, right? Like that's what we are. And I love that. Also, that brings me to one point I forgot to mention. We and I was kind of saving this for the live, but we had done a vote for what we thought the community name should be a little while ago. And the votes are in, and Eternals was the top answer. So the community name as it stands at the moment is Eternals, and I'll type that in the chat so we can see it. But I love it. I love that so much. It's such a cool name. Oh yes, I have definitely shown people Ren. So depending on the person who I've been talking to, like depending on which colleague I'm talking to, the reactions have been different. Some people don't entirely like his music as much because obviously it's heavy, right? There's a lot of emotion packed into Ren, and not everyone is really looking for that. But amongst a lot of educators, I'd say like I've shown it to probably like 6 or 7 people in my school, and I'd say about 4 of them were very interested and now have them on his playlist, which is pretty cool. Like I'm pretty happy about that because it's like the more we spread Ren, the more that his message gets heard, right? Your reactions are deep. Love watching how. Thank you. I appreciate that. Honestly, it's so much fun to do that, and then just for the like sharing other aspects of it that I might have missed. Like I love when you guys. There are things that obviously I'm not going to understand everything on the first go. So when you guys start sharing your stuff with me too, like things that you've noticed, yo, I love that. That stuff makes me so happy because I'm like, oh man, I didn't even think of that. And I think that we should always be open to learning, right? Obviously, as as an educator, but it's so cool for us to all kind of almost go into like a video essay version of what we've seen, and then we kind of analyze the whole thing together. That's literally one of my favorite parts. What's the story behind your username Shadow Eternum? Okay. I have been Shadow probably for almost as long as I've been Nav. Um, Kind of a weird start to that name. The name, like, I think in a weird subconscious way, actually came from the car that my mom used to drive when I was young. I think my mom's also watching the stream, so shout out to my mom. Can we put some hearts in there for my mom? But also, like, the first car we ever had was the Dodge Shadow, right? And ever since then, I was like, oh man, I love this name Shadow. And the other side to Shadow is I've always loved super speed as a superpower, and I thought, well, what's as fast as light? Shadow, right? Because Shadow moves just as fast as light can. And so to me, I was like, oh, this is such a cool name. I love this so much. You know, as a kid, as someone who's into like Dragon Ball Z or super powered, like Marvel, all that kind of stuff, right? I was like, oh, Shadow's my name now. And and I kind of took it on as a persona, but then it stuck. Like it's stuck forever. It's quite literally been Shadow in some way, shape, or form for every game I've played, for almost every username I made when I was younger. So many different things. And so eventually I was like, it used to just be Shadow, but I was like, I want to add something to it. And so I said it was Shadow Eternum. Eternum is not a real word. Eternum is made up. But it sounds close enough to be a real word that I'm like, yeah, let's run with it. I wanted to make it sound like something that meant forever, and eternal means forever. And so I was like, Eternum kind of has like almost like a Greek spin to it. And so there, Shadow Eternum was born. So it kind of started off as like this goofy name I had for myself as a kid. And then I kind of just took it on as like a person of who I am, and it became almost like an aspect of me. It's as closely related to me as red and black is. Like if you ask anybody I know what my favorite colors are, they'll say red and black. And then if you ask them what my like nickname is, they'll say Shadow Eternum. Or Shadow in some way, shape, or form. Hey, yeah, I love the vibe. Thank you guys all for the shoutouts too. I think the chat is loading a little bit slower than you guys are typing in because I'm seeing these come up a little bit after. So I apologize if some of my responses and replies are a little bit late. It's 41 degrees Celsius where you're at, Red Fox? That's insanely hot. Holy smokes. Well, Rebecca, I'm hoping the power stays on. I'll give you some bardic inspiration. Hopefully, you can roll that on top of your saves. It is the best class, right? So, you know. Yeah, I'm loving it. This is fantastic. Okay, that makes sense. I've never done this before. I didn't realize they put a delay on. I wish there wasn't a delay. I wonder if I can do that. I don't know that I can. I don't think I can, and I think it's a better time to figure that out than now. So why don't we pull up some of the questions as well that we had from the community when I asked about this. Let me grab that real quick. Oh, so where am I exactly? So I'm actually not in the US. I am in Canada. I'm from Toronto, like the Toronto area, the GTA. It's probably the most popular area that anyone not from Canada knows. It's Toronto. So yeah, that's where I'm from. And honestly, it's pretty great here. We have it's pretty like multicultural, which I think has played a large role in me kind of wanting to explore every facet of every culture. Are we still at the 1d6? Come on. That hurts. That hurts. I like it though. I see you using cutting words. So you like bards too, Rebecca. Oh, thank you so much, Urban. Oh my god, I appreciate that. So thank you. Yeah, no, don't you don't need to say my bad, UK. Like that's totally fine, man. That's totally fine. But let me pull this up real quick. So I will switch over to this. I had a couple things going here. That's not the right one. Hang on a second. Where'd that one go? I think it's this. There we go. All right. Oh, 100%. And we're very lucky that for them, there are obviously some outliers. There are obviously some places where you go where like that it's not the same. There isn't as much openness to multiculturalism, but for where I live, it's pretty great, honestly. Like it's fantastic. Yeah, I had actually originally gotten like a starter pack because I used to do Twitch streaming. I used to do like gaming streaming, so I used to like play Warzone or League of Legends. I used to do those a lot. So I bought these transitions, and they happen to work out perfectly for this. Where did the there it is? Welcome to the live. Do I like Letterkenny? I haven't started Letterkenny, but a lot of people have told me to watch it. So it's on my list of things, but now that it's summer, I can actually get into those list of things, which is nice. So hopefully I'll be able to get into Letterkenny a little bit more. Okay. Oh, this was a big one. So one of the questions that a lot of people had was like, what's my favorite book? My favorite book is a hard one to think about. I really, really, really like this series called Delvers LLC. And if you guys watched the video with Ronnie and Falling in Reverse recently, I mentioned a guy named Dylan who's one of my friends, and he actually introduced me to this series. I think he has a very good pulse on what kind of things I really want to like read or watch or whatever, because I love this series. Anyone that loves like Dungeons and Dragons or loves kind of like that role playing game side of like it just games in general, highly highly recommend that game. It is very cool in terms of the way that like relationships develop, in terms of the way that the power scaling happens. Like it's really really cool. And then that's one of my series. I'd say Harry Potter is also really up there. It probably is one of the most formative books series I've had in my life. Really really changed kind of my perspective on fantasy and led me down the rabbit hole of all things cool. Um, and then recently, a book that was actually suggested from a student of mine was called The Hypnotist, which was a fantastic book, and I highly recommend that. It is a little bit, there are some sensitive topics, So maybe read the description before you start to read it. But just in short, it is about an individual whose occupation is as a hypnotist, and then something happens where his job creates an issue in his life. And it kind of follows that storyline. So if you're interested in that kind of thing, check it out. It's pretty good. Oh yeah, Harry Potter, 100%, 100%. Out of curiosity, does anyone like? What are your houses? Anyone that follows Harry Potter, what houses do you fall into? Like Hufflepuff, Ravenclaw, Slytherin, Gryffindor. If you had to name one, what is your favorite genre? Oh, that's hard. Oh man, I think the genre I come back to most frequently is rap. Because I love writing. I write a lot. Like I'm actually writing a novel at the moment too. And so like I used to write raps. I used to write song. I still write songs sometimes. Not as much anymore, but I still do that as well. And that's rap is just such a great way, such a great outlet. And then there's just so much change that's come about as a result of rap. And it's almost like spoken word come to life, and I love that aspect of it. So I would probably lean into rap, and usually like when I make playlists, the playlist style changes a lot. Like I have a number of playlists that were my favorite at the time, quote unquote. And then when I make them, there will always be some semblance of rap in those playlists, but other ones not so much. So it depends on the genres. So rap is probably up there the most. For a while it was J-pop, J-rock and J-pop. That was like my go-to. I love that stuff. I would eat that up. I still love it. It's pretty great. Okay, so we got Gryffindor. Nice. Can you guys guess what house I'm in out of curiosity? I realize that now that I say that, when I say can you guess, it's gonna be like 20 seconds until I see the answers. Born in Colorado. Oh, so we got two people from Colorado here. Coloradians. But have been in the UK most of your life. Very nice. Very nice. The younger me hated hip hop so much, just wasn't for me. A total rock and roll guy, but the last few years, yeah, yeah. There's a lot of aspects of hip hop that like, man, it's just it's such a good way to explore not just ourselves but the world and society and the comments as a whole. I love that. Thank you. I appreciate that. So Hufflepuff is your guess. Slytherin is your guess. What's up, Sir Weebs? How's it going, man? Yeah, actually, I think Rebecca, you'll like it a lot because it's actually so the novel that I started writing. It's kind of funny how it came about. Anyone like so, if you guys like, I've talked a little bit about it, but I love Dungeons and Dragons. Like straight up, if you've never played it, if you've only heard about it, and you're kind of like, it sounds stupid, it sounds boring. Highly recommend you try it out. You obviously need a really good group to play it with, but man, I've learned so much about myself and the friends that I've played it with through playing that game, and also just like relationships and understanding how some interactions might go. A lot of that you can learn in Dungeons and Dragons. So like highly recommend playing it. And also it's just a lot of fun. So the novel I'm writing actually started out as a backstory for one of my characters in my friend's campaign. And I was like, hey man, so you want me to write a backstory, right? And I was like, and he was like, yeah. And so I started writing it, and then I keep writing, and I keep writing, and then I keep writing, and then I keep writing, and then all of a sudden it's like 50 Word doc pages. And I was like, hey man, does this work as a backstory? And he was like, I'm not reading this. I don't have the time to read all this right now. And I was like, that's totally fair. That's totally fair. But then I was like, why don't I start turning this into a novel? So we got some Slytherin guesses, some Hufflepuff guesses. We got some Gryffindor. Yeah, so for those of you that don't know, I am actually a Slytherin, through and through, both in that game that was just released, but also like in the Pottermore quiz. Basically every time I'm Slytherin. It's wild. I think that's probably one of the things that surprises people the most when I tell them. I got to cheat and say my favorite genre is post-punk. It's my favorite band. Nice. So we can end the 20th century music. Yeah, honestly, there's been a lot of artists. I really like this era that we're in because we kind of hit this phase where a lot of like labels had control of the music for a long time, right? And then we hit this phase where like even in terms of streaming services, it was very kind of guided by powers that be. And now we're basically in this moment where anyone can become like a star in music, and that's what we're seeing with Ren, right? You just need the right music with the right support and the right people, and all of a sudden you got in a movement. And we see a lot of that now, and I really like that because it opens the floor to anyone who as long as you kind of put yourself out there and allow yourself to be seen, you have a chance, right, to become something huge, and share your music with so many people. I love that. Yeah, it is fun to discover it with other people. Oh man, D&D with new people is always like a blast. Quite honestly, at some point, one thing I was thinking of doing was like a D&D session live, like through stream with like anyone that wants to join from the community. And it's obviously going to become difficult trying to like the logistics on that, but it's something that I've been playing around with the idea of. So excited for yeah, it should be awesome. It should be awesome. Every time I see that notify me come up with Ren, I'm like, another one is coming. D&D helps you in so many other places in life. Yeah, 100%. Even like, so I've actually done a presentation about this to my peers and to like a couple of people, but like D&D helps with so many things. So it's like social interactions, math, English, all that kind of stuff. All of it plays a role. I actually used it for a course once, because it was a course where a lot of the people were kind of not as excited to be in that course. They were a little detached from school as a whole, and I infused D&D into the course where all of them at the start were like, this is lame, sir, we're not going to want to play this. And then by the end of it, they loved it. They loved it. And their math went up, their English went up, like it was, everything improved. It was fantastic. So there's a lot of cool things about D&D that we don't necessarily even hear about. I saw a post from Ren a couple days ago about how messed up it is that he can name a song Murderer and it doesn't get flagged, but he's, yes, 100%. 100%. I think censorship, there needs to be a balance. I think censorship is important to a certain extent, but we're kind of overdoing it in some ways at times. I knew it. You did know it. You did know it. Nav, I 100% go through that with character creation, but I've always okay. I want to see one of your super long backstories. I would love to read that, honestly. Character creation is such a it's a part of yourself you're putting into it, right? I love it. YouTube flagging thinking is a strange thing. Yeah, it's just word exactly. And I think like I get it. On certain words, like there's some words that just shouldn't be said, right? But there are some words that get flagged that really, especially depending on the context, it changes the meaning of the word, right? So obviously like the word suicide is a very tough word for some people to hear, but because Ren used that as his title, it actually sparked more of an attraction from general public. And then when they start hearing that song, the actual song is him sharing his feelings and being vulnerable and allowing people to explore different aspects of his mind and the stuff that he went through that might align with some of the things that he went through. And now all of a sudden you're creating this connected experience between two people who might never have interacted. And even though they're not interacting like on a formal level, right, they're not talking to each other, they're connecting, and that connection can mean a lot. There could be someone who's experiencing that pain, the thoughts of that idea, and they might have gone through with it lest they had heard the song, and they did hear the song, and that's changed their perspective. And that I think it's really important because context matters, right? It shouldn't just be words or band. Context should play a very important role in which words you can and cannot say, I think. My man slimy, yo, I don't know what that means. I feel like I'm gonna take it as a good thing. I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll take it. All right, unaliving still means the same thing. Yeah, 100%, 100%. It's like you can use a word that means the same thing but isn't the actual word, and all of a sudden it's okay. It's so stupid. I don't get that. if you manage to bring that D&D with the community things. I know, honestly, Rebecca, I'm trying to figure it out. Like the logistics of it, it's very hard. I don't know how we're gonna make that work, but we're gonna try. We're gonna try. Team building, learn. Yeah, 100%, 100%. Team building is huge. Oh, the cartoon. I haven't actually seen a lot of it. I saw one episode and it was pretty good because a friend of mine showed it to me. But I haven't seen all of it yet. I'm curious. I'm curious. I heard that there was a cameo though, of people in the cartoon in the movie, the more recent movie. By the way, if you haven't seen that movie, highly, highly recommend. It's an entertaining watch. It's a lot of fun, but it's like a lot of people were like, "Oh, do I have to play D&D to enjoy this movie?" Absolutely not. You can enjoy the D&D movie without ever having played D&D, without ever having even heard of the game. You can enjoy it a lot. I will say if you have played the game, your enjoyment does go up, but if you haven't played the game, you're still gonna love the movie. So highly recommend. It's a lot of fun. It doesn't take itself too seriously, but it has a lot of emotion. It's really cool the way that they've done it. They actually did a great job of bridging that kind of seriousness of certain like emotions with the kind of hilarity that many people associate Dungeons and Dragons to be a part of. And quite honestly, like when you think of Dungeons and Dragons, it is supposed to be a lot of fun, but there are some moments in there where you're like, oh my god, this is the most emotional thing I've felt, and it's about a game, which is crazy. The Canadian sport of speech law. Yeah, it's all part of brushing things under the carpet that people don't want to hear or talk about because yeah, and that's it, right? Like part of that is exploring why does it make us uncomfortable. That should be part of the discussion too, right? It shouldn't just be it makes you uncomfortable, it's gone. It should be it makes you uncomfortable, why does it make you uncomfortable? How are we going to address the actual root cause of that, right? Because it makes a lot of people uncomfortable because it's something that's upsetting, right? And why is it upsetting? Because it's probably something that you have to deal with. And if it's upsetting to you, right, maybe someone that you've lost to unaliving themselves, well, maybe you need to talk about it, right? But you wouldn't be able to talk about it if it's always censored. And so it's this like vicious loop on itself. The movie was so much fun. It was a lot of fun. I love it. I love it so much. I think the character casting they had in that was flawless, like actually perfect. When I first saw the cast, I wasn't sure what to expect, and then when like as the movie was going on, I was like, this is the perfect ensemble. They bounce off of each other so well. They fit their role perfectly, and they carried the movie through their kind of personas and their interactions. I really enjoyed that. Quote from Reddit post: "As a social experiment, my next song will be called." That's such a red thing to do. That's hilarious. I would love to see if that was allowed. Like if he could do that. That'd be so funny. Oh my god. Cuz like if that goes through, how in the world are some of these other words censored? You know what I mean? It just makes no sense. Yeah, I loved it. I loved it, Kiara. It was awesome. Do I play any instruments? I beatbox, I played trumpet, I played trombone a lot. I sing a lot. I try to learn the guitar and learn that I can't play guitar. Or am not. It's not that I can't. I think it would take a lot of time sunk into the guitar to actually start playing the guitar properly. So yeah. I have played the guitar. And then I played drums for a while too. So I played a lot of instruments in my life. But honestly at the moment it's just singing and like beatboxing that I do a lot of. We need to talk about these things. The fact that people feel they can't. Yeah, 100%. That's where the issues are, right? Like when you feel like you can't talk about it, it compounds on itself internally. And that's the problem. And that's the problem that a lot of people miss. And like we don't necessarily have the powers to control that, but hopefully those who have the power eventually start to realize that maybe it's not the word that's the issue, maybe it's the experience bound to the word, and the experience can only be explored by allowing the word to be said in certain contexts. And so that would be important for future changes, I think, at least. Yeah, that would be honestly the best. What a comment on society that would be if he named his song that, but had to alter the words for his past song. Like that'd be nuts. Okay. Let's see. Okay, do we want to do more questions, or do we want to do like a live reaction, or do we want to do like how are people feeling right now? I'm trying to figure out how to balance this. Also, is there a way for me to do like a poll? Oh, there is a poll. I can do a poll. Oh, that's awesome. So reaction wise, just like once we get to it, even if we don't want to do it right now, reaction wise, is there something like, do we want to do another Ren? Do we want to do, is there something that you guys recommend that I should check out? Maybe something that's more doable for Alive or Life is Funny or Ready for You. Okay, so why don't we, I can make a poll. I can make a poll for this. So let me do that. Which song would you like a reaction for? I'm really hoping you can't hear the typing, because I think I set it to have a good noise gate, but I'm not 100% sure. So we got Ren. Life is Funny. Big Push. Bongo Bong. Music Part 3. And then Annie. Oh, no, Anne Licks. Renegade. Rick the Fox. Oh, Vibe Session was some of my favorite music. Interesting. I like that idea. Maybe I'll show like some of the music I've been listening to. Hey, hello from Toronto. Thanks for tuning in. I think what we could do then is maybe I'll put out this poll, see which one we want to do a live reaction for, and then we'll kind of explore some of the music I've been listening to lately. I think that could be fun too. There's definitely two songs I can think of that I think you guys will really like, or at least I find them super interesting. One of them is I'll just, once we get to them you'll see what I mean. But I'm gonna ask the question now, so you'll get the poll right now. Oh, this is kind of cool. I can see in real time what the voting's looking like. Life is Funny and Bongo Bong kind of going hand in hand right now. 43% to 29%. Oh, Bongo Bong is slamming. Okay. We'll give it another like 20 seconds. Just for fair share of voting time. But I think Bongo Bong will likely take. Welcome in, Holly. Hope work was good. And do them all. We could do them all, honestly. Everybody Drops. I don't think I've heard of that one. In terms of Bongo Bong, because that seems to be the one in the lead, is this one I should like do a lyrical analysis? Perfect. Lyrical analysis of, or would just a reaction suffice for this one? Because I like, obviously I don't know these songs. I'm trying to save all new Ren stuff for when I do them live. So like, would this one require a lyrical analysis, or can I leave the lyrics out of this? Rick was hot and humid. Oh no, that's like my least favorite situation. I love the cold. I love winter. I love like lack of humidity. So that is you've named the one thing that I dislike the most. So I'm sorry that work was that way. Just the music? Okay. All right. So let me switch us over real quick to this. Okay, sweet. So it's this one here, I'm assuming, yeah? 4.2 mil views. That's a lot. Holy smokes. Okay, sweet. Okay, cool. Wait, is it only 30 seconds? What is happening here? Is this an ad? I should probably stop the stream music. Oh, there we go. Okay. Pretty straightforward. Okay, so we'll go into this more like with a reaction mindset, because honestly, like when I do the lyrical analysis versus when I just do a reaction, it like the mindset I get into is very different. When it's just for fun, it's more of like a relaxed vibe, and when it's like lyrical analysis, there's still a bit of relaxedness to it, but there is more of like a focus that has to go into it. So it's good to know kind of prior. I like that now I kind of have an idea of which one I should be thinking of. Okay, awesome. Sweet. Are we ready? All right, I'm gonna go with yes. I'm gonna go with yes because we did the vote and everything anyways. So I'll end this poll actually, so that's not there anymore. Let's get into it, shall we? Oh yeah, love you all. Let's get into it.
You're smiling.
He's already smiling right at the gate.
Go.
Oh, I love this vibe. Rooftop? Come on.
Mama was queen of the mambo, Papa was king of the Congo. Tita in the jungle, I start banging my first bongo. Every monkey like to be in my place instead of me. I'm the king of bongo, baby, I'm the king of bongo bong. I went to the big town where there is a lot of sound. From the jungle to big city, looking for a
Yo, the
crowd.
bass.
When I play my boogie for the people of big city, but they don't go crazy when I'm banging on my boogie. I'm the king of the bongo, king of the bongo bong. Hear me when I come, baby. King of the bongo, king of the bongo ball. Hear me when I come.
Yo, I love how this is just like a live session, but dude, this is like professional. The way they're bouncing off of each other on the bass is I love it. It just adds so much flavor to this. And I like the mixed elements because like Ren was kind of laughing, having a lot of fun at the start, and then we got this like seriousness, but it just works. Oh, this is a great vibe to it. Got their drinks all on the table
They
too.
say that I'm a clown, make
Oh, this
it
is
do
during
my dirty
lockdown.
sound. They say there is no place for little monkey in this town, so I play my boogie for the people of big city, but they don't go crazy when I'm banging on my boogie. I'm the king of the bongo, king of the bongo ball.
His voice is really good
When I
too.
come, baby, king of the bongo, king of the bongo ball. Hear me when I come.
This style, oh my god. Yeah, if we could just like sit around them on the rooftop, this would be awesome. What?
Je ne t'aime plus, mon amour. Je ne t'aime plus tous les jours.
Yeah, his
Je ne
voice.
t'aime plus, mon amour. Je ne t'aime plus tous les jours. Parfois j'aimerais mourir tellement j'ai voulu croire. Parfois j'aimerais mourir.
Okay, real quick. I live in Canada, but I do not entirely understand French, so I'm very sorry, but I don't know what he's saying entirely. Okay, I'm going back because his voice is so nice. Sorry, I went back a little. I apologize.
Je ne t'aime plus,
Yeah.
mon amour. Je ne t'aime plus tous les jours. Je ne t'aime plus, mon amour. Je ne t'aime plus tous les jours. j'aimerais mourir tellement j'ai voulu croire. Parfois j'aimerais
Yeah, everybody
mourir pour ne plus
dance.
rien
Hell yeah, I
avoir.
like it.
Parfois j'aimerais mourir pour plus jamais te voir, car je ne t'aime plus, mon amour. Parfois j'aimerais mourir tellement j'ai voulu croire. Parfois j'aimerais mourir pour plus jamais te revoir. Parfois j'aimerais mourir pour ne plus rien savoir. Non, je ne t'aime
Ooh, I
plus.
love the overlayering they're doing.
Je ne t'aime plus, mon amour. Je ne t'aime plus tous les jours.
Banging on my booty, oh, that swing belongs to me. I'm so happy there's nobody in my place instead of me. I'm a king without a crown, hanging loose in a big town. Cause I'm the king of bongo, baby, I'm the king of bongo bongo. King of the bongo, king of the bongo bongo. Hear me when I come, baby, king of the bongo.
The pitch change? Oh.
Hear me when I come, baby, king of the bongo, king of the bongo bongo. Hear me when I come, baby. King of the bongo, king of the bongo bongo.
Wow. Oh my god, guys, like the rooftop vibe of that is just next level on its own. But the styles that they fused into that felt like you should also be on the beach in like Spain. Like I don't it's just this is like a drive through the town listening to at night kind of song. Just bouncing to it. I love this vibe. Oh my god. Je ne oh, that's right. That makes sense. Je ne t'aime because M is love. So je ne oh, that makes so much sense. Yeah, Romain, man, his guitar skills when they were doing the live for I Shot the Sheriff, like that was insane. And then like his voice, what was that? That's crazy. That's fantastic. This is like Ren's group is nuts. I don't know, like it's the perfect collaboration of people that are passionate about music but also just love, and I love that. You know what I mean? Like it's so great, and just the fact that they're doing this on a rooftop just off the cuff, but it sounds like studio level recording. That's insane. That is so crazy. This is a vibe. This is an absolute vibe. Oh, that was great. That was a solid recommendation. Yeah, Romain is fire. Romain is fire. Oh, he's dropping a new song on Monday. Okay. I have been looking into trying to figure out which song of his to start with because he obviously has a lot of music too. So if you guys have a suggestion for a Romain song to start with, please let me know because I would love to know. Yeah, it seems that way. Like a lot of people just apparently Brighton just keeps like there's something in the water in Brighton, you know what I mean? It fuels creativity and art. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. Like attracts like. That's 100% true. That's what this community is, right? That's what this whole thing is about. I love it. They're all just they're all just so good. I don't actually know that I recognize the guy who was playing on the opposite side playing the bass, but his bass skills caught me off guard. Like they were so solid. Just the intricate finger work was nuts. That's the one reason I can't play guitar. I can't seem to like there's like some positions where you have to like move your fingers really weird and I can't do that. Hey Merc, what's up, man? Romain Metamorphosis. Okay, I'm gonna write that down here. Give me 1 second. So I don't know if you guys can see this. Can I yeah, I can see. So I have like a viewer request section. So anytime someone's recommends something, I usually put it in here. And then I put in your name. So Holly. And then Metamorphosis. Morphosis. I think that's the right spelling. Close enough. All right, let's move that there. A little peek into the curtain, I suppose. Goran, that's his name. Okay. I've heard that name too, so I'm assuming they're all Big Push, right? So can I twist your arm into a lyrical breakdown with "Life is Funny"? Of course. Bassist is Goran. Thank you guys. Okay, perfect. Let me pull this up. Life is Funny, Ren. I think it's good that we do one reaction, one lyrical analysis at least. This one, I'm gonna pull up also just like the whole lyric. Oh, this was something I was gonna use as background music. Apparently, if you guys have ever heard Riot Games music, It's pretty good music, but they also allow you to use their music for streams for free. So if you ever want to do that, feel free. And you're welcome, Riot Games, for any plugs this ends up being. Let me pull this to the side real quick. Okay. Life is funny. Ren lyrics. And then I gotta pull the chat up here. There we go. His voice is great. You need to see Swan Song, and he also plays guitar when he's runs. Oh, Ren! See, Ren is nuts. How do you play all of those instruments to that same level? Actually, so something that's kind of cool, and it's a little bit down the pipeline. But one of my friends is also a musician. Like, this guy has been exceptionally talented since like I can remember. So when I was younger, he was playing things by ear with ease, like just an absolute master of music. And he actually asked if I wanted to do a breakdown of one of his songs. And so next week on Friday, when he releases a track, I'm also going to be doing a breakdown, and then we're going to have a discussion about that, like a lot, like an interview, um, where we talk about his like music creating process, all that stuff, and that you'll eventually get to see too. So it'll be a nice little new song, new artist that we haven't seen on the channel before. But like he's such a great guy, so it'll be fun to have him on here. Just so much talent. Yeah, they all ooze it. It's literally like as soon as they start playing, you can see everyone, especially when you see the crowd work videos, like when we watch the Big Push do the I Shot the Sheriff one, man, like the crowd was just entrenched in the music, and everyone, it wasn't even just like they were all enjoying it. It's like they were all participating in it in a strange way, you know what I mean? Like they were all a part of it. And that's the best part, is their music is so infectious, it draws the crowd in a way that many artists don't have the ability to do, and it's just they can do it consistently, and that's impressive. I think you get very sick and spend a lot of time in bed at home on your own. Wait a second. I learned a bunch. Oh, that's true. That's fair. That's fair. That. Oh man. You know, I think it's kind of weird because I was thinking a lot about Ren, especially because obviously with the live coming up, I figured like we'd be doing some Ren, and I was thinking like his journey has been so hard and treacherous and difficult, and he's shown so much like just strong face through all of that, right? And then still allowed us into his vulnerabilities, and just like this, it's such a, it's so beautiful now to see him using those weaknesses, quote unquote, that he would have probably considered in the past, like you said, laying in bed, spending a lot of time sick, and then turning those into his superpower. Because now like it's just wild, you know what I mean? Now he's like he's taken these things, that he's taken the weaknesses, used them productively, and turned them into this beautiful art that we now see, and also is now capable in basically every instrument known to man. I want to say, I don't know for sure, but I would wager. All right, let's see this. Hey Lane, how's it going? These boots are made for walking. Is that also alive? Is that by Romaine? And turn out to have the talent. That's true. That's very true. Love reaction to Ren, girls love the track, and most reactors don't seem to have picked up on it. Okay, yeah, maybe we'll put that on the list here as well. Girls. Yeah, that's another great one. Also, if I'm spending a little bit of time reading, I apologize. I can't keep up with everything. I can get Romain on an interview. Wow, he's a friend. Yeah, okay. Yes, definitely. But I feel like I need to do at least one reaction of Romaine before I ask him for an interview. So definitely yes, that would be phenomenal. I'd be so down for that. That'd be so awesome. So maybe we do that like next week or something. That'd be great. I can't believe you know him in person. That's awesome. Boost is another hidden gem. Yeah, okay, we'll have to get to that. Interview with Romaine would be fabulous. Absolutely. Big Push live in one. That sounds crazy. I kind of want. Yeah, we got to see that too after for sure. Big Push live. And watch. Yeah, definitely. I want to do some reactions before we get Romain on here, so it's not like I just bring him up here and I'm like, hey man, I've reacted to everyone else, but not you. But soon. Because I've seen like snippets of Romain, like little shorts on YouTube or like TikTok sometimes, and dude's crazy. He's a monster. His guitar skills are basically unmatched. I don't even. It's absolutely nuts. When Ren was asked in his Twitch stream how soon before he writes an autobiography, he said he wouldn't write it yet because it needs. Oh wow, jeez, man. See, the one thing, like, as sad as that is, really think about what he's saying there. So, like, he says he's not gonna write it yet until he has more happy things in it. You know what that means? That means he's expecting happier things to come. And that's the kind of lifestyle that I think we all should have, right? Is that good things will come. It just needs time. And I do think it's heartbreaking that he said that, but it's also uplifting because that means he's expecting happier things. And I love that for him. He needs happier things in his life, man. Ren has been through a lot of shit, and honestly, like, the perspective that he still has, the outlook and the fierce drive for change that he still shows us, man, like, hats off, right? I don't know many people that can be in that kind of situation and still hold their head up strong and high, and then also try to bring other people and lift other people up after having suffered so much, right? Just absolutely crazy. Okay, let me pull it back. Then which song should we do of Remains? Good question. I like that question. Oh my god, Lynn, you're awesome. Thank you so much. Oh, thank you so much. New song dropping on Monday. Maybe we do the new song. Maybe we do that on Monday. We can do that. I hear you know right. Tell us everything about him. Feel you want. He has an epic video that is very much interview with the vampire. Ooh, that'd be cool. Killer Jam, but also his new song is dropping. It's sad. Oh, okay. Interesting. Maybe we do both. Maybe we just do both. Yeah, honestly, like, that's the stuff that we love about Ren, right? Is that fierce. He's basically like a warrior. Like, it's been mentioned in like just throughout all of our chats. He's a warrior for good, right? He truly is. Okay. Let's do this live lyrical analysis. This will be interesting. Let me just pull the lyrics up on the side. Okay. Good to go? I think we're good to go. Let's start it off. Ooh.
Life is funny sometimes. Life is funny sometimes. Life is funny sometimes. What type of human are you? The type to question things or the type who don't care if you do? Are you the type to get excited by a molecule divided, split an atom in a fraction, blow a nuclear fuse? Are you seeking?
Yo, okay, so one thing right out the gate, he says, what type of human are you? The type to question things? And he's asking the question of what type of human are you while saying what type of human are you, right? Because he's saying there's two types of people that question life and people that just go along with life. And in the asking of that question, he tells us exactly what kind of human he is. Bro, I love that. That's such a solid setup to that line. I really like that. And I like that in the background we're talking about, like, what type of human are you? Are you here to question the way that things are going? And then we see, like, the atom bomb, right? Like, the just dropping, and like, I guess that was the atom bomb, something along the lines. But we're talking about dividing an atom, which ultimately is a nuclear explosion, right? That's how, just if anyone doesn't know, the way an atom bomb works is you split an atom and that atom basically explodes outwards. It's two separate pieces and then collides into other atoms that also begin to explode outwards, and then this creates a massive explosion. And so we see that kind of in the background by talking about a molecule divided. And what we're saying is, are you the type to question the terrible things that humans do to each other, like the atom bomb, or are you the type to just sit by and let it go, right? And then think about the question that he's asking about. It's such an that's such an intense one, right? Because he could have just said, "Are you the type to question?" Like he could have talked about capitalism, but he talked about one of the worst possible things that we've seen in existence, and he said, "Are you the type to even think about questioning that, or do you just let stuff like that go by?" He's almost asking us to be introspective and inviting us to do that. I love that. That's so solid. Yeah, yo, that's solid choice. Solid choice. Okay. All right.
In a tree.
Oh, let me go back. That's something that I edited out of like videos, so you guys don't have to deal with that. We're gonna have to go back. I always forget to do that. Okay. And then the other thing is, are you the type to get excited by a molecule divided, splitting an atom? Like, are you the type to be like, oh, let's do this. You know what? Let's keep using this, right? Saying like, are you the type that wants war? Are you the type that wants chaos and destruction? Is that who you are? And it makes you really think about it. Like, what kind of person are you? Oh, that's solid.
I am molecule divided, split an atom in a fraction, blow a nuclear fuse. Are you seeking the truth or are your hands on your eyes? Pick up a paper, don't debate with anything that's inside. Are you happy with life? On the day that you die, will there be tears full of fear or will you die with a smile? I pick up a paper, then put down my...
Yo, that line right there is something I think about a lot. A lot. Like, and I think a lot of us do, right? Because it's the end. This is what a lot of us like wonder about, and not even just so much is it even the end. We don't know what comes next, right? We don't know what happens after. But I really like that question of, are you the type that is going to basically just like stand there hiding from the truth because it's right there in front of all of us, but we don't necessarily see it, we don't look for it, and if you're not looking for it, you will never see it, right? So are you the type to do that, or are you going to be happy with the life that you've chosen because you're someone who's willing to kind of push for change, right? On the day that you die, are you going to be happy? Are you going to be the type to, or are you going to be someone who is content at the end of their life? And think about what that means. A lot of people say at the end of your life, you get flashbacks of basically everything that's happened in your life, right? It's the time before you die. And so you get like a short video, almost montage of your brain saying, hey, these are all the things that happened in your life. And are you going to be happy about seeing that real, or is that going to be something that you're going to be disappointed of? And if it is something you're going to be disappointed of, maybe this is the time through this song where it wakes you up to think about, well, maybe I should change the way that my perspective is. And maybe I should question things that exist in life. Maybe I should think about these things. And this is a great way to kind of wake someone up, make them realize, oh my God, okay. Okay. You can see how these videos get a little long. Morning all, sneak peek. Oh, hey, Kat, how's it going? Yo. Wait, Becca, can we hear Becca? Is that something that we can do? Okay, let's get back into it. Cool.
The day the eyes pick up a paper, don't debate with anything that's inside. Are you happy with life? On the day that you die, will there be tears full of fear or will you die with a smile? I pick up a paper, then put down a pattern, an intricate syllable pattern, and if there are spaces, I'm filling the gap in focus. Splitting an atom, I'm bringing it back in the words I'm attacking, it's cracking, unpacking the wisdom of rapping, I'm running, I'm rapping, I'm bringing a skill like Lotus. Hidden dragon, tiger, styling.
Okay, yeah, all right. I'm really glad I pulled up the lyrics because there's no way in hell I would have gotten all that in one shot. That's a lot. One thing just stylistically that I really like is when we watch kind of this part here, listen to how it starts.
I'm bringing it back in the words I'm attacking, it's cracking, unpacking the wisdom of rapping, I'm running, I'm rapping, I'm bringing a skill like Lotus. Hidden dragon, tiger.
Like all that, and then actually the part I missed was the focus. He says focus, and everything he kind of slows down to say focus. And that's something that we all do, right? When we're thinking about the things that are on our mind, we're running through all the stuff that we're thinking of because our mind is constantly racing. But then he says focus because we literally have to take a step back and be like, all right, breathe, take a second, focus. But also that's also the emotional impact, right? All that stuff happening in your head that like ultimately when you feel it, the emotions are so heavy, you do need to pull yourself out of it and reevaluate everything that you're looking at. And that requires focus. And so that's kind of what he's saying there. Oh my God. What was it? Oh, it was awesome meeting you in person as well. Yeah, I think there's kind of keys to both, like in-depth and reaction style. I think both have their merits, but I personally think the rap style is, or sorry, like the rap style, the in-depth style is something I prefer. Something I really liked here was that he ultimately said like when he's giving us all of his rap wisdom by like unwrapping it. And I really like that line there because he's adding that in as like all this stuff he's learned in his life, all this stuff that he's been considering now had the time to take focus on and look at, he's now giving it to us packaged in this song. And that's so sweet. Like I love that. Okay. I need to go back to the second part of that though, because I think I missed it. Okay.
In focus, splitting and I'm bringing it back in the words I'm attacking, it's cracking, unpacking the
No, that's the part I just did. I need to go back. See, this is a lot harder when I don't go back properly. Okay.
die. Will there be tears full of fear or will you die with a smile? I pick up a paper, then put down a pattern and then just a lyrical syllable pattern. And if there are spaces, I'm filling the gap in focus. Splitting and I'm bringing it back in.
Oh, if there are gaps, I'm filling them up with focus. Oh my god. And even if you think about that, he leaves a gap in the song, the one that he's currently writing, as the spot for focus. And he's focusing our attention on that spot while explaining the writing process of how he does it. Yo, that's so cool. Oh my god. Okay. And then we already talked about this, so I won't talk about this.
In the words I'm attacking, it's cracking, unpacking the wisdom of rapping. I'm running, I'm rapping, I'm bringing a skill like Lotus. Hidden.
Yeah, and I like this too. Hidden Dragon and Tiger. He's talking about like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, which is the internal focus, right? That's the whole movie is about like, or not the whole movie, but like the message in that movie is that inside of all of us there is that creature that has the wisdom and also has the strength to continue, to keep going and to create change. And that's why we bring up the focus. You're on your hidden dragon / the tiger inside. Yo, solid. Oh my god.
I'm bringing it back in the words I'm attacking, it's cracking, unpacking the wisdom of rapping. I'm running, I'm rapping, I'm bringing a skill like Lotus.
And bring the skill like Lotus flower, which is representative of peace and tranquility. Yo.
Hidden dragon tiger, style inside your mind, the world is wider. When you look inside can guide you. Weave a web of wisdom like a spider. Perceive the unseeable, hadron.
Weave a web of wisdom like a spider so it can catch all the mistakes of your thinking, right? Because like when you have wisdom, the point of wisdom is to use it to fuel your own understanding, right? And so when you weave that web of wisdom, you're catching all the stuff that was like the crap in your mind, like the pollution that may have made it through to your consciousness if you hadn't had the wisdom. And I love that. And then we just talked about the fact that it's Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, and then that's the video that we basically get right after, where it's like, yeah, focus on that internal piece, the person inside who has an idea of what the truth should be. And then that's what we're seeing, and saying inside your mind the world is wider, right? Because it's like, yeah, if you look at the world just as is and you take it from what you've been told, then the world seems small, it seems narrow. But if you look inside and try not to just utilize the messages that you're given from the external world, and you try to look inside to view the world, then the world gets wider. Yo, that's so clever. I love it. I love that so much. Oh my god. Okay. Also, I wonder if Ren's a Spider-Man fan, because I've been playing a lot of the Spider-Man game, and that drew me right back to that with the spiderweb line.
Guide you, weave a web of wisdom like a spider. Perceive the unseeable, hadron collider. Life is fun.
Hadron Collider, because we're speeding up the particles. Oh my god. And then that's like, if you think about it, he's trying to create that reaction, that particle reaction, that collider, accelerator, everything in your mind, right? And then we see the lightning, like a spark of lightning as well. And then we're trying to say that we're trying to jumpstart our ideals and our ideas and shift the way that our perspective is, like a collider does shift our understanding of science and physics. And so he's trying to do that to our mind in the same way that we're using the Hadron Collider to learn more about science. We're learning more about the world through his writing and through his music, but then also an introspective look inside ourselves, which guides our understanding. Come on, man. Oh my god. Okay. Oh,
Life is funny, 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 life is funny.
I like how in that too, the lightning is actually like, it's starting. If we let me go back to show it.
funny, life is funny, life is funny, life is funny, life is funny, life.
So it's actually spreading upwards and outwards, which is kind of contrasting to what we usually see with lightning, right? Because usually it strikes downwards, though lightning can also strike upwards. But something that we're seeing here is the striking upwards and expanding, right? And it's almost like our knowledge. It's like if you think about our neurons, which are what our brain is made up of, it's like these little electrical pathways. It's like he's literally lighting up all of our electrical pathways. He's lighting up our mind inside to give us a better understanding, a better insight. Holy shoot.
Life is funny, life is funny, life is funny. Sometimes it's like I'm looking at you, wondering what I would do if I was there in your shoes. If I was born a different mind, a different time, a different view, would my behaviors be the same? And do we even really choose? Am I
Bro, yo, I think about this all the time. This is like, guys, so when we're doing reactions, like one of the things I really end up doing is kind of, instead of viewing it, I try to kind of go inside the mind of the artist to see what they were thinking when they made it and what would have made them choose the specific words that they did. And so like what he's kind of saying is kind of a comment on the way that I'm doing reactions to his stuff, which I love. But on top of that, it's like, this is what we do with people, right? We walk around and we oftentimes will look at someone. It's one of like the most played games, I assume. Like when you hear about like you assign people stories, right? You give people stories that you have no idea who they are, but you say, hey, I wonder what their story is. Let me make this up as a fun little game for myself. We literally do this all the time. And it makes sense because we're a social species. So that's why when we're walking around, we always look around and say, that person over there, the way they're behaving, I wonder, would I be like that if I grew up the same way they did? Or is my mind different enough that even given the same circumstances, I might think differently, right? And that's something we have to consider. And I think we were talking earlier about like censorship and stuff. And this is something that's really important in regards to censorship, because a lot of people end up getting in trouble for things that they said like 15 years ago, right? And when they say this in a time, not that it's right that they said it back then, right? But when they said something that at the time socially was okay, right? Not great, but socially it wasn't like, you're not going to be crucified for it. And then it gets brought up 15 years down the road when they've also changed as a person, where their understanding of the world has changed, and maybe they don't believe in anything that they said like that before, but still they'll get backlash for something, even if all of their actions and words currently speak very differently from that person they were back then. And I really, it amazes me that that still happens, because like, I get it. They said something terrible in the past, and maybe I'm wrong for this, but if they said something terrible in the past, but the person they are now shows a completely different perspective, then maybe we should give them a little bit of slack because they've actually learned. And that's even harder than someone who said something in the past and says the same bullshit now, where there's the same person, they haven't changed, they still think that same way, even though like society has changed, people have a better understanding of one another. So if they haven't changed, that's less powerful than someone who actively has changed. And so we're actually, when people have changed and we're reaching back 15 years to pull up like a tweet that they said, we're actually like choosing to punish them for positive change, which I never really understand. This is kind of like an offshoot, just an idea that came to my mind while we were watching this. But sorry, that was something that always intrigues me in terms of the way that we kind of almost make antagonists out of people for something that they've changed. Hey Kate, how's it going? Okay, yeah, the stories, right? Like you look at people and you make up stories for them. And this is cool because like we think about like they're born in a different time, they're probably raised in a different way. The societal standards are completely different. So how can we look at them and then think, would we be the exact same as them? Because we don't know, right? Okay.
On a different mind, a different time, a different view with my.
Oh, the other thing, I like the style change up here because we're on kind of a different perspective. Right now we're going inside other people's minds. We've changed up and we got some beatboxing that we're hearing in the background. Oh yeah. Oh, I love the beatboxing.
Behaviors be the same, and do we even really choose? Am I the byproduct of my environment? I buy products for my requirement. A sucker, I know that cause I'm a sucker too. You're a sucker, I'm a sucker. Fuck it, what you gonna do with this body you were given? Your life, are you living? Have you sight or no vision? Are you tired with the game? Passive or decision? Follow or ambition? Surgical incision in the middle of the brain.
Oh my god. So are we are we the byproducts or of our environments? Because this is the whole environment versus the way that you were raised, right? So it's we're asking here are is the social like era that you're born into gonna basically tell you who you are, or is it something internal that does that instead, right? And so we're saying that even while we're thinking about that, while we're having this intensely introspective conversation, we're still doing the things that we normally do. We're buying products, right? We're still suckers. Even when we're having this conversation in our mind, thinking about all these things that could be so deep from a social perspective, right? And we're considering all these facets of the way that life has been organized by the powers that be, that even while we're doing that and understanding that that's happening, we're still buying the products that are being sold to us. And that's what's being said here. Yo, that's true, right? That happens with all of us, right? We're thinking about this stuff as we're even buying it. We'll probably go to the store and be like, wow, there's a lot of plastic used to wrap around this product, but I need it, so I'm gonna probably have to buy it, right? And then by buying it because you need it, you actually support the person who has used all that plastic or has upcharged the price by like a ton, right? And sometimes it's because you don't have another choice, but sometimes it's also because it's easier for us. And that's what we're choosing to do, even amidst knowing that it's probably wrong. Yo, that's crazy. And then he even says, like, what are you gonna do, right? What can you do? You can't make that product on your own. I don't know how to make the chemical formula for, like, I don't know, laundry detergent, right? I don't know how to do that, so I have to go elsewhere. Oh, that's nuts. I was singing along and I was doing last. Yeah, it's true. I can't judge anyone else's path. That's exactly it, right? Like, everyone has their own path. And as long as they're not hurting anyone, what does it matter to you, right? Like, just let them do their thing, you do your thing, and we'll all be fine. We'll all be happy. Just trying to make up excuses for folks having behaving. Yeah, it's true. And that's the funny part, is that we even make up excuses for people that are not us, right? We try to give them rationale, especially if it's someone that we know. If they've done something wrong, we'll try to give them benefit of the doubt by giving them a reason. Yo, that's true. That's a good point. Let me go back just a second here. Because I missed the second half.
Life, are you living? Have you sight or no vision? Are you tired with the game? Passive or decision?
Have you sight or no vision? It's the same question, but a very different It's like saying, are you hearing me or are you listening to me, right? Because hearing implies that you can hear the sounds that are coming into your ear, but listening implies that you're understanding what you're hearing, right? And it's the same thing being asked here. Are you seeing or are you lacking vision, right? That's such a great, I love that, because it's like, in this way we're seeing the TV representations of all the problems, like the same way that we saw before yeah, exactly, like in Money Heist, right? Like, we saw Money Heist 2, this is the same style, and so we're kind of seeing it again, showing us all the things that are relating to the lyrics that are being brought up. And so he's saying right now, are you just watching, like just looking at it, or are you truly seeing it? Are you actually understanding what you're seeing and taking it in, or do you just let life kind of keep going, right? And just go with the flow. And that's why we get follow or ambition. Oh my god. Okay. No, we're the hostage money interpretation of the characters anyways, so then you cannot support the. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's the goal, right? Is push for a system of change. And that's kind of what this whole music video is about. It's trying to push the idea of, like, the thoughts that we have, maybe we should reconsider them and truly gain some insight onto why we feel the way that we feel, and how the world is working the way that it works, and how can it change as a result. But if we never think about it, if we never truly sit down and try to understand the things that make us uncomfortable or the things that we think are wrong in the world, how are we ever going to make a difference? Because we don't understand how the change even started in the first place. Damn. Okay.
Follow or ambition, surgical incision in the middle of the brain. Say my name, I bang like Kurt Cobain.
Did he say that in the say my name, say my name? Was that the same way? I love that, because it's like he's kind of saying, like, you know, we're using like the pop trends to kind of distract people, and now he brought that in and it completely distracted me from the topic of discussion, because now I'm thinking about that song, and that's such a clever way to say that. Look, like there are these issues that we have that I just talked a whole bunch about, and now when I say this one thing where the sound comes back to you like a pop song, that pop, that traditional stuff that they put on radio that distracts you will distract you from all the issues as well. But he's using that as a parallel. It's not literally that pop song he's talking about. He's actually paralleling this to other distractions that we see in the news and in the world and in everywhere all around us, like through capitalism, through all that stuff, and saying those distractions distract you from all the true problems, just like the way that pop songs kind of generalize and don't really address any of the issues. And that's what's happening here. Oh my god. Oh yeah, Money Heist is the show. That's true. I have to get out of here. Oh, see you later, Kathleen. Oh, he totally would. If you guys haven't seen it, there's a guy named Hobson that does a really cool video with that. But it's more like a braggadocious style, but the video is really cool. Okay, I'm gonna go back a second.
Say my name, say my name. I bang like Kurt Cobain, reach Nirvana on the spiritual plane. In my brain, insane like I'm Cypress Hill. Tray flipping like I'm Tony, cause I got the skill. Life is fun, life is...
Yo, I like how he talks about a lot of like iconic people there, right? Like, so we talk about Kurt Cobain, we talk about Nirvana, but we use all of them in such an interesting way because we're saying like, ultimately, we're going as hard as Kurt Cobain, but we also are trying to reach Nirvana on a spiritual plane, because Nirvana means that sense of like completion and peace and understanding, and that's what we're trying to reach, while also going hard as hell like Kurt Cobain. Which also, I'm pretty sure Kurt Cobain had like a drug issue, which I wonder if he's trying to kind of intersect that here. And then in the membrane, insane like I'm Cypress Hill. I don't know that I understand the reference there, but membrane is like when you think about cells, they have like an outer layer. That's the membrane. So he's saying down to the very cellular makeup of my body, I am insane. And Cypress Hill is a rapper, right? So he's insane like him, which is a great nod to Cypress Hill, and I love that, right? But that's cool because earlier we talked about breaking down a molecule, right, and splitting it and creating an atom bomb. And here we're talking about a membrane, which is a part of a cell, which you can almost consider as part of that same like level of microscopicness. I don't know if that's a word, but that's what we're looking at. And we're now evaluating Ren's microscopic level. And that's so cool because we're getting an insight into his mind, right? And that's such a great way to show this. Oh, I didn't know he shot himself in the head. Holy smokes. That's a whole different meaning to that. Thank you for that. Well, if he shot himself in the head, then he's saying I bang like Kurt Cobain. So slowly he's kind of killing himself over all of this. And then also reaching Nirvana by doing so. Yo, thank you for that. Because that actually makes the bar make so much more sense. Because slowly through this process of going through his music, which involves him like, in order to get to this point, he had to be sick. He had to actually experience these problems, right? Ultimately, he's saying that through slowly dying in his mind, he actually started to reach Nirvana because it took those pains and those problems to truly start to understand the way that the world works and the way that there is kind of that however we can improve. And I love that. Oh my God. How's rap? Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Oh, that was their song. Insane the Membrane was their song. I didn't know that. There you go. That makes perfect sense too. But then Trey flipping like I'm Tony, because he's got the skill like Tony Hawk, right? Tony Hawk the skateboarder. And so he's literally like he's flipping the script, right? And that's like kick flipping a skateboard. He's flipping the script like Tony Hawk with the same level of skill, except he's doing it in music. Yo, Ren is stupid good. Like I don't even. How do you write like this?
Tony, cause I got the skill. Life is funny, 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 life is.
Yo, and something I just noticed. I don't think we saw the lightning strike anything but the sky earlier, and now it's striking the ground, right? Like we're seeing it go down. And that's almost like we're grounded, right? And maybe that's what it's meant to represent, is like a level of groundedness that we've reached. Right. So earlier we're kind of searching the void for wisdom. And then it almost even looked like a web earlier. And now all of a sudden the lightning is also striking down because it's grounded. That's sick.
Funny. Quarantined inside my room. We're living in very strange times.
True.
Pick up my paper, then pick up my pen, and I won't be stopping till I'm top of the throne, top of this hill, top of the moment that's keeping it real, top of the beat, top of this vibe, top of the symbol on top of the ride, top of the pop, top of the mix, top of the snare that follows the kick, top of the game I remain today, holding my pain with the syllable savagely spit, ticking the talking.
Bro, yo, honestly, one of my favorite things is when we play on like using the same kind of starting section, so like top of the this, top of the that, top of the this, top of the that, right? And then on top of that, we're switching up just like one word at a time, but even interspersed in those, we've switched up some of the words. So it's like top of the throne, top of the hill, top of the moment. That's keeping it real. That stuff, like where it's like it's kind of structured like with rhyme, and then a switch up, rhyme, switch up. I love that stuff. But even then, the last word mix in kind of as a slant rhyme. Oh, and then on top of that, he's saying like this is during quarantine, right, where everyone is isolated, where we're feeling lonely, right, we're living in like the strangest time we'll ever, where this will be like recorded in history books, how crazy this stuff is, that in that moment he decided, I'm going to pick up my pen, I'm going to pick up my paper, I'm going to write down everything I'm feeling and take that with me right to the top of all of the things that he just listed. So like top of the moment, where we're saying even in that moment where he's writing, it's taking him right to the top of feeling in that moment. And then top of the pop, top of just everything, where we're saying top of the pop, like top of the pop charts, right? So even he'll create some music for that too. Even though Ren is like as far from pop as you can get, he can still swing pop if he wants to, because that's the kind of artist that he is. Damn. Okay. I'm gonna go back 1 second. Oh yeah, and then top of the game I remain to take the hold of my pain with the syllables savagely spit, where we're still running on that crazy quick pace of spitting, but on top of that we're saying like he's gonna stay at the top of the game by using his pain. And this is what we talk about all the time, where the pain that we have, and so there's actually a line in one of my favorite songs right now where the artist says, I don't make mistakes, the mistakes make me. And I love that line. Because what that means is that, yes, we're going to make mistakes, right? But it's not that we're making mistakes, because mistakes are actually a learning opportunity. So it's not that we're making mistakes. The mistakes are actually making us who we are. They're making us better than who we are. And that's kind of what Ren does, where he takes that pain, he takes that negative experience that he has, and he puts it down in the music so that it can elevate the type of person that he is and help give us an understanding of ourselves, as well as him, as well as the world. And that's kind of what he's doing. Oh my God. Okay. Top of the Pops was a music show in the UK. Oh, I didn't know that. That's cool. I like, oh, so then he's Top of the Pop. I wonder if, was that also a show where like, if you won, you were like the top pop? Because then if that's the case, that makes even more sense here, because he's still playing that game, right? He's on this music show, except it's a music show of life and still trying to achieve the top spot. Damn. Okay.
I remain today, holding my pain with the syllable savagely spit. Ticking the talk and the ticking the talk of the clock. It's ticking a lot. I delivered the shock like an insulin shot, and I'm back on the block and attacking them hot, and I'm taking the pop.
Did you say insulin shot? Hang on. Is that for me? For those of you that don't know, I'm diabetic. One of my favorite Supernatural episode. Yes, exactly that. Something I really like here too is he says ticking the talk and the ticking the talk and the ticking the talk. And this is like when you're thinking about time, yo, honestly, all you can ever do is think about time when you're thinking about time. Because you start thinking about as time is passing, you start thinking about the time that has passed. And a lot of the times when you're thinking about time, it's not in a positive way of like, oh, I have so much more time to enjoy this thing. Usually it's like, oh man, I could have done so much more with this time. And that's what he's saying is happening in his head. He's thinking about time in that sense. And it keeps kind of ticking in his own mind. That's crazy. And he's delivering a shock like an insulin shot. I don't know that that makes the most sense biologically. I'm going to be honest with you. But maybe I just don't get it. But delivering a shock like an insulin shot, maybe the shot itself, because it's surprising, but you need insulin to kind of help you balance. And maybe that's what he's saying. He's delivering the shock like an insulin shot. Oh, that's kind of sick, actually. I like that a lot. Okay. Oh, there you go. Yeah, getting the top pops meant you made it. That's solid. That's so solid.
Ticking the talk of the clock, it's ticking a lot. I delivered the shock like an insulin shot, and I'm back on the block and attacking them hot, and I'm taking the pop with the rock in the sock, and I'm swinging it, bringing it, flinging it, knocking the teeth right out your mouth. Bitch. I'm back on the roll.
Yo. The bitch and then the punch. One other thing I really like is the music dropped out there. when we were hearing tick tock, and then we had the bass come in as kind of like the seconds that we can hear in the background, like the tick tock. That's such a clever production choice. I really let's go back and listen to that for like 1 second. That's super cool.
Savagely spit. Ticking the talk and the ticking the talk of the clock. It's ticking a lot. I delivered the shock like an insulin shot. And I'm back on the block and attacking them hot. And I'm taking the pop with the rock in the sock. And I'm swinging it, bringing it, flinging it, knocking the teeth right out your mouth. Back on the road.
I love that. That's such a solid production choice. Oh my god. Okay. And then he says, I'm back on the block and attacking him hot because yeah, he disappeared for a while, right? Especially like from the music industry, but then he's back and he's taking the pop with a rock in a sock. And you know, if you've ever seen this happen, like when you fill up a rock with socks and you use it as a weapon, is pretty brutal. And so he's basically doing that, but he's saying that also pop and rock, like the genres, because he's taking the pop in his music, he's taking the rock in his music, he's taking every genre of music, and then he even says he's swinging it, bringing it, and flinging it and knocking, right? So he even includes swing into that, which is such a cool way to think about it. But he's saying that he'll take it and he'll knock your teeth out because ultimately all of his music is meant to slap us in the face and wake us up, right? Like make us understand either society or understand ourselves. So even though this is like a brutal metaphor for slamming someone in the face with a rock or a sock full of rocks, it's really going to hurt. It's also used beautifully to make us understand that he's trying to give us a better perspective by waking us up, and maybe not even just us, but himself as well. And then he says, knock the teeth right out the mouth, bitch. I love that. There's so much energy in that. And then that almost even relates to like how other artists will downplay Ren's music because they're like, oh, it's too emotional. And it's like, bro, that's what we need. We need emotion. We need understanding. We need to think in this time and age and day. And that's what's important about Ren's music. Oh my God. Okay, let me see.
Back on the wheel, back in myself, back in the field, back in the game, back in the lane, back in the same old Batmobile, back in the flow, back in the place, back in the building, bomb that bass, back in the nectar, back in the honey. Life is funny, life is funny, life is funny.
Back in the nectar, back in the honey. Yo, that's such a great line too, because that's what bees do, and bees pollinate, right? And so if bees pollinate, what does Ren do? Ren also pollinates, except the flowers he's pollinating are the flowers of change, right? And that's what he's saying. But also honey, because it's sweet like nectar, like success and like power and like money, and that's why he's back in the limelight, right? And that's what he's saying here. Yo, that's so solid, because now that he's back in the game. Oh, also I like the back in the same old Batmobile. He's saying that I'm in the same old thing I was in before, and I'm just gonna drive this to the top, because what I had before was the right formula and the right thought and the right mindset, and that hasn't changed. So I'm going to get back in that old Batmobile, go back into the same flow and carry it right to the top. So even if those stupid music industry, like if it doesn't understand where I'm coming from, I'm still going to use that because I know it's powerful, and I'm going to take it, energize it, and take it right to the top. And that's what he's doing. And I honestly, that pollination line is, or not pollination, but like the saying that he's like a bee, he's like basically he's back in the nectar, back in the honey, that kills. That's such a good line. That's such a powerful line.
In the lane, back in the same old Batmobile, back in the flow, back in the place, back in the building, bomb that bass, back in the nectar, back in the honey. Life is funny, life is funny, life is funny.
Life is funny. Oh, and then we get an optical illusion. Come on. Yo, what? I love that we end on that too, like the optical illusion, because it's like, yeah, life is funny, life is weird. So where we've been talking about seeing properly the whole time, right? We actually now are looking at it and saying, oh, even while we're looking, while we're trying to get a better perspective, now we realize that the world isn't as clean cut as we thought it was. It's not just black and white, at least not in the standard form of black and white. Right now we've got this black and white background that's like all over the place, and so we have to really figure out how to internalize that or perceive that in our own way, and that's why we're given this optical illusion at the end. That is such a solid closeout. I love that. Oh my god. Oh geez. Oh, thank you so much, guys. Yeah, I'll definitely have to cut this down because I'll make this into a video. The live version of this video, I guess, like where we cut it down, so it's not a lot of back and forth where I'm like stammering and stuff. I try to remove some of that because like obviously I don't say everything perfectly on the first try, but I try to make it so it's a little bit more digestible, where I'm not just stammering. I hope you guys, that was, that's a banger of a song. I love any song that focuses on change up here or change out here. Like that's my jam. Because understanding what it means to be human is that we will change, right? We will become different people throughout our lifetime. That's inevitable, because as time moves, we move as a person, right? And we have to understand that you will change, and that's okay. But what we want to aim for is changing for the better, and that's what's important. Thanks so much for doing my request. Yeah, that was solid. Thank you for the recommend. That's solid. I loved it. Yeah, super down for that. We could totally do it on a different day. Yeah, I want to try to do more live streams. This is awesome. I love this. I was a little nervous honestly at the start, cuz like never done a live stream before, right? Not this way at least. And honestly, I was like, "Oh, what if and this is the thing. This is like that imposter syndrome that I've been talking a lot about. In my head, I was like, what if this goes totally wrong? What if this gets messed up?" But this has been so solid. Like I'm enjoying this so much, and that's a shout out to you guys. Like this is why I love you guys. Like you guys are such a great community. You guys are such nice people. Like I could genuinely, I feel like I could sit down with every single one of you and just have a conversation that goes on for hours. And I love that. I really really love that. He flexed in this one, but was actually, yeah, exactly that. Like you hear him kind of, his flow is nuts, right? And then on top of that, it's not just the flow, it's the actual meaning, like you just mentioned. That's so solid. The fact they picked up on so many things in the visuals and time to the lyrics. Oh, thank you. Yeah, honestly, like that one, that was a lot of fun. Heretic's a great song. Heretic's a great song. Just a reaction suffice for music. Sure. I mean, if you guys want, we can do a reaction to Love Music Part 3 right now, and then we could do the actual lyrical breakdown at some other point. If that's something you guys are interested in. Thank you so much, man. Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that a lot. Yeah, 100%, right? That's the staple of a great relationship. Like uh, when you meet with a friend who you haven't seen in like decades, but time just flies by, and I say decades, that's a long time. In years, and time just flies by, and that's the kind of stuff that it's like a great friendship. Because when time when like because realistically, okay, so this is going to go real out of pocket, but when we think about time, right? The dimension of time that we have in our mind is very different from the dimension of time that actually exists, right? Because we have assigned time for us. Time, according to us, is how we move around the sun and how we rotate on our axis. But that's not how time exists for everything. So we've actually made up that idea of time. But even in that idea of time, there are times where we don't perceive time in the same way. Because normally, when you're doing something that is like boring, time seems to move differently than when you're doing something that's exciting. So even that time doesn't is not constrained in that sense. Definitely agree. Thank you for that. We're here for your live streams whenever it's fun and visit. Yeah, honestly, 100%. Yeah, this right here, the fact that we can all talk and get to know each other live, that's right here in my feels. I love that. I've seen so few reaction to Heretic too. Thank you. Yeah. That's awesome. What are you doing in college out of curiosity? If you don't mind sharing, you don't have to share, by the way. It's totally up to you. Yeah, that's very impressive. That is very impressive. Yeah, we'll do one more for Love Music Part 3. For this one, we'll do the reaction now, and then maybe we'll do a lyrical analysis at some other point. Computer science. Damn, that's impressive. About like anime? Is that what you're saying? doing holiday assignments about Python. I've never done any coding. I've never done anything like that. So I am thoroughly impressed. I want to learn, and I actually might try to learn over the summer, but I don't know. Also, question for you guys: do these Saturday streams work out the best? I could also do evening streams. Let me actually put this into a poll. Let me do that real quick. So best days / nights for streams. Okay, so we'll just put all the dates. And then obviously I don't expect everyone to be at every live because that's impossible. We all have our own things to do, but it would be pretty cool. Oh, I can only ask a certain amount. So why don't we say weeknights? That's fair. That's fair. So just so I get a sense, I want to know if weeknights would be okay or if weekends are better. This is probably the best timing. Oh wait, is this like branding if they see that? Oops, I shouldn't do that. Wait, should I save Love Music Part 3 as like a live breakdown then? Is this gonna be too intense? Should I wait on this one? That's true. That's very true. Like a lot of the times the music industry is basically a mass production machine just pushing out things based on the idea of what should happen with music or what is most popular in music, and like it's not often the most meaningful stuff. And this is kind of like, I'm so sorry, Ed Sheeran, I love you so much, but like this is a mild criticism I had about Ed Sheeran recently, was I felt like a lot of his music seemed to be very similar, but then he came out kind of with a few new albums and like a new songs that really went back to his old school style of artistry and truly showing his feelings, and I really like the new stuff better. That's fair. That's fair, Rebecca. Honestly, if anyone is like anyone not able to make it to any of this live sessions is totally fine. I don't hold it against any of you for sure. I only work weekends, so weeknights might. Okay, so what? I'll probably end up doing more than just one stream. So maybe we'll end up doing like weekends, Saturdays or Sundays, depending on which day works out best, and like a weeknight. So maybe like Mondays or something. We could try to make that work. Weeknights would be hard for me with the time zones personally, but to do, okay, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah, yeah, and it's cool because Ren is waking up a lot of people's interest in music as a whole. That's true. I didn't actually realize that there was a part one or part two to this. I just assumed it was the only part. Okay. So wait, should I be doing part one first? And it does look like weekends one, so I'll share this with you guys so you can see it. Weekends one. So we'll still keep these up on weekends, but we will do some weeknights as well. But yeah, so the question still stands. Should I do part three or should I do part one? Late in the day on weekends. Okay, cool. So just so I don't miss part one, I feel like part three. Okay, sweet. All right, let's do this. All right, let's be try to stick to a regular schedule. People get in the habit of knowing that. That's a good idea. Honestly, that's a good idea. I think if we do keep a regular schedule, it probably would work out best for everyone. Okay, so why don't we do part one and part two, and then wait, are the other two lyrically intense? Like, could I do a lyrical analysis for all of them? Okay. So it seems like a lot of people are saying do part three. So let's just do part three. I'll do this as a reaction, and then I'll save lyrical analysis for kind of like a non-stream time.
Yeah.
How many styles of music can Ren do, guys? I'm not even. We're 5 seconds into the video, and I'm already perplexed, and just quite frankly, a little insanely frustrated. How can one person be so good at so many different styles of music? I haven't even heard the rest yet. I'm just assuming he's awesome.
I love this music. Whoa. I love this music. Yeah.
He did the oi that we got from Humble. He did that. I love that.
I love this music. Whoa. I love this music. Yeah. Day 456. The diaries of a boy in quarantine. Slowly but surely, I think I'm starting to lose my mind. You will find me in the club, bottle full of liquid nitrogen, breaking the ice when I mix it with hydrogen, a rolling in my mouth, and I get a back in my brain gone south, and I'm losing my sight again. Drugs, say no to drugs, fuck it, do all the drugs and make love, fuck it, take it all the way, put a needle in your vein, and collapse in a pile on the rug, love it, overdoser, certified kosher, I rap too much, my tongue's got an ulcer, bad with the altar, stand like a soldier, rage on the system like Zach De La Rosa.
I rap too much. My tongue's got an ulcer. Rebecca, you're right. I want to stop this so bad, but I don't think it's gonna. This okay. We're not gonna do it. We're not gonna do a lyrical analysis now. But God, oh, I'm gonna do it eventually. I assure you, this is wild. Oh my
I
God.
rap too much. My tongue's got an ulcer. Bad with the altar. Stand like a soldier. Rage on the system like Zach De La Rocha. Amplify my brothers. I'm on furious form. I raise my fist against the system that's all crooked and torn. I bring this culture of vultures, the righteous, the soldier. I'm filling up these body bags like I'm Jason Bourne. I said I get it on Donkey Kong. Blowing up a smoke like Cheech and Chong. Make it stratospheric like I'm Neil Armstrong. I'm feeling like I'm Neil because I'm the one. One to twist it, sit quite sadistic. Risk for a biscuit, fucked up statistic. Chauvinistic, where are my bitches? Mystic, linguistic, volume, I twist it up. I love this music, boy. I love this music, yeah.
Music with the trumpets.
I love this music, boy. I love this music, yeah. Oh man, yeah, I'm flowing like an ocean, and I'm strong when I'm flowing like I'm Conan. I'm a flow till I grow in my soul, I'm a flow till I'm old, man. I said, oh damn, get it low and
Yeah, honestly, it just
and I'm
keeps
sharp like a
switching.
Wolverine Logan. Suplex with a flow Hulk Hogan. I'm zoning. This kind of rapping it will keep your tongue blisters, lighting up the board like I'm in a bar mitzvah. Don't resist the urge to scratch.
This type of rapping that'll give you tongue blisters after talking about the tongue ulcers that he's getting. Yo. Oh my
This
God.
kind of rapping it will keep your tongue blisters, lighting up the board like I'm in a bar mitzvah. Don't resist the urge to scratch the itch and flick the switch to lift the volume in the mix up. Every time I'm rapping, I'm tapping into the mystic, ballistic,
Dragon Ball Z.
be spirit lifted to come and rap it, the rip it. I take a rhythm and flip it, so turn my witty and lick it. I killer on my liver, spill it for a living, and lick a bit of a thriller villain. I'm a cannibal killer, I got the flow, yo. And I'm fresh like a polo.
Wow.
I used to force on my man calls me Han Solo, Han Duo, Han Trio, Han Quadro. Put my finger in your ring like I'm Frodo.
Did you really say that?
YOLO, I'm parasailing with Sarah Palin. I'm hammering puns I'm nailing. I'm like a fish cause I'm big Tom sailing. You're like a farmer, blood you're bailing, I'm sailing. Oh boy, on my Usain Bolt, I'm the boy. Blood pressure on the beer, then I call it peer pressure, then I seize the day cause I'm the codfather, get it? Groove if you let it, pass me the lettuce. Don't pass the sugar man cause I'm diabetic. Rubber dub, 3 men in my top and I'm sexually confused, so maybe they will get it. Just sketch my bars next. Muscle fill bars to flex my biceps. Every time I kill it, there's buddable on the set. Tell me, do you feel it? Do you fear it or respect? Cause when I spit fast, I'm the martial arts masterclass style artist. Flow the hardest. Giving them the rhythm when I kill them with the flow. When I'm giving them the rhythm when I kill them with the oh.
Yeah.
I love this music, boy.
Oh, I love the whoa. Oh.
I love this music, boy. I love this music.
Anytime I hear brass, man, just when it's done well, oh, it's so nice. Do we have like a Looney Tunes hole happening here? Yo, that was so solid. Oh my god. I didn't realize that was gonna be that much fun. Oh wow. And the flow switches, the genre switches, just the bounce. Does Ren ever miss? Ren never misses. I swear to God. I don't know anyone that can flip between genres like this with such effortless ease and then just kill it every single time. Like, it's not like he does well. It's not that he does it well. It's he does it exceptionally. And that's what makes him stand out. Because there's people that can do a lot of genres pretty decently, but to do every genre to the quality level that Ren does it every single time, that's unheard of. That's ridiculous. Like, that's just unheard. I'm so impressed. Yeah, you guys almost killed me, guys. Come on. It was this close. I almost lost my breath. That was so great. Oh, there was one song I wanted to show you guys. Oh, that's not what I meant to do. Hang on. Yeah, honestly, it's such a good song. Oh, thank you. Yes, he should be Ren is music. Oh my god, I love that. He should be. If he does a fourth part and so this is a different style of music. I will admit it's more braggadocious, but the vibe to this song, like, it's so dope. And I don't know what it is. This guy named Connor Price is kind of the one that put me onto these tracks. I don't know if any of you have heard of Connor Price before. His wordplay is fantastic, but again, his songs are less introspective, more braggadocious. Still phenomenal. So I'm gonna play this one and I'm gonna see if you guys like it because the vibe is just, it's there. I like the vibe.
You sure you know what you're doing?
Yeah.
Just the beat too.
Last time I checked, I'm still hot, real hot. Kept it dope without a pill pop. Bill Cos, steady climbing to the hilltop. Tip top, did it all off of a TikTok. Yeah, last time I checked, I still that guy that did it on my own. Stay independent. For you to get what I'm getting, it would probably take a village. Just give me a minute, turn a snippet to a hit, and now they own a percentage, but I'm only paying visits. Big dog, hit 'em with thick thumbs and a quick draw. Hit boss, if they ain't playing, they getting kicked off. Jigsaw, I got 'em puzzled, got 'em a bit lost. It's a feeding frenzy, I put the beat in a pig trough. Got it on lock, got the password. Type of thing you couldn't manufacture. 10,000 hours, got it mastered. Can't you see the patterns? Last time I checked, I'm still hot, real hot. Kept it dope without a pill pop. Bill Cos, steady climbing to the
It's the
hilltop.
flow, yeah.
Tip
It's
top,
the
did
flow.
it all off of a TikTok. Yeah, last time I checked, I still hot, real hot. Kept it dope without a pill pop. Bill Cos, steady climbing to the hilltop. Tip top, did it all off of a TikTok. Yeah, last time I checked, I'm still the man in my town. They had to crown me. What I used to make in a day, I make it hourly. Told Grand, send me a beat and make it bouncy. When they hear the tag, they know it's about to be big scene. Catching
Yeah.
us on the big screen. 16 bar slicker is pristine. Let's stream everything that we spit clean. Big jeans, pockets are looking mint green. Pen game bulletproof. Look at all the levels that we took it to. Sticking out like a crooked tooth. Staring at the mirror like, look at you. Damn, I'm still hot, real hot. Kept it dope without a pill pop. Bill Cos, steady climbing to the hilltop. Tip top, did it all off of a TikTok. Yeah, last time I checked, I
So this song, I walk around at night, like I go for night walks because looking up at the sky at night is probably one of my favorite things in the world to do. and I'll just have this song on repeat in the at times and just listen to this. Yeah, I can absolutely link this. His name is, well, it's a duo. Their name is Connor Price and Nick D. Connor Price is really the one that put me on to Nick D, but both of them are pretty good. And Lynn, I have actually added that to my list, so I will definitely do Patience. I put that into my request list. Yeah, I so that's fair. I think the song really depends on who you are. You might not like it. But you're right. The back and forth that they have, it's got this like big brother little brother energy. And honestly, this kind of reminds me of like Sam and Ren. So like especially in the garage, like the parking garage, right? When they're moving through and Ren does that like skirt, right? That gives me such like little brother vibes. And I love that because it makes me feel like those two have known each other forever, and I kind of get the same vibe from these two, which is actually what reminded me of Ren and Sam. But yeah, so this is just one of those songs that like you can just have as like a little pick me up, you know, just a little walk around feeling cool kind of song. Um, but yeah, I have one other song if you guys would indulge. I like the chemistry between the it definitely is. It definitely, like, I use this as like walking background music. But like also if you like dancing, the vibes that some of his songs have, especially a song called Violet. Violet actually planned to do on the channel because lyrically Violet is very well written. And the progression in the song is pretty cool. Listen to rap before hearing Ren and the fact that yes. Rap took a hit when mumble rap came around because like mumble rap, I a lot of people liked mumble rap. I personally hated mumble rap. I was not a big fan of mumble rap because the whole point of rap is like it's almost like spoken word turned into music. And if I don't know what you're saying in your rap and it's about like cars, money, girls, all that kind of shit, I'm not interested, right? And that's why I really like Ren because his rap is very different. And I really like NF because both of them have this like introspective music is therapy style of rap, and the lyricism is top tier, right? Compared to other artists, which we don't get a lot of anymore. Like there's good artists out there, but not the same like when we're looking at Ren's music, I don't know a lot of artists where I can spend like 45 minutes on one song trying to go through all the things that are hidden in the meanings because there's not many artists that do that. And that's just insane. Where we see people like Ren taking the most hard-hitting parts of our life, the things that make us feel the most, and then turning it into this palpable, tangible rap where the emotion is dripping off the lyrics themselves. That's nuts. Oh my god. Thanks, man. Thank you. I really appreciate that, dude. Holy shit. I don't even know what to say. Thank you so much. Yeah, and that's exactly what I'm saying, right? Like rap wasn't intended to be about that stuff. Rap was intended to be comments on society. It's supposed to be this machine for change. It's supposed to be the fuel that creates awareness, and we lost a lot of that when we got a lot of mumble rap. Man, Rob, thank you so much, Rob. Man, I love it. Thank you, man. Holy smokes. Um, but yeah, so like I wish all music kind of had that more passionate, committed to ourselves, like learning about ourselves, learning about other people, that kind of vibe. But there's not, and that's what Ren like just caught my attention on. When I first heard Hi Ren, I was like, when you saw, like, I was just like, what is this? Like, this is insane. This is beautiful storytelling. This is powerful writing. This is passion for art in its truest form. But at the same time, I'm learning something. I'm learning something about myself. I'm learning something about Ren. I'm thinking a lot about what's happening in terms of my mental health. And I haven't done, nothing has had that same kind of effect on me even since then. There's nothing that I've really listened to apart from Ren's music. Like when he released For Joe, that one, man, like I still can't even believe like the way that he structured it, the way that he created just all of it. It's insane. Yeah, yes, exactly. Yes, cuz he you know what? Mumble rap deserves to be put down cuz it's not rap. It's really garbage a lot of the time. The beats are fire, don't get me wrong, and I'm here for a good beat. But if you're intending to be a rapper, maybe we need to understand what you're saying when you're rapping. You know what I mean? It was singer-songwriter so that yeah, exactly that. Tupac, 100%. He's basically the original. He's like the OG, like meaning purveyor. You know what I mean? And he created a lot of change with his music, and that's exactly the kind of stuff that we need from rap. Oh, that's totally fair. That's totally fair. See ya, Rebecca. Thanks for tuning in. I'm glad you had fun. It was awesome having you. I've listened to Ren now nonstop for 8 months. Yeah, it's crazy. I like I mentioned to you guys earlier, it was actually a friend of mine that put me on to Ren. And like ever since then, I originally quite honestly started this channel based off of Harry Mack, right? Like Harry Mack is my all-time favorite freestyle artist. And that's actually what I had intended the channel to be about. But then he sent me that Ren song and he's like, "Hey, you should listen to this." I heard like the first 10 seconds, I was like, "This is crazy. I want to kind of put this on the channel." And so I did. And then when we got there, like it was like an experience. It wasn't music anymore. Ren is an experience, right? And just like being able to be a part of something so crazy, to be able to watch his music and then simultaneously just create this understanding within me of myself. Not a lot of music can do that. Not a lot of music gets you thinking the way Ren's music does. Not a lot of music gets you feeling the way Ren's music does. And the cool part about Ren's music is it's not just that kind of music, right? Like we just talked about, his genres, there is no genre to Ren. Ren doesn't have a genre. Ren is music. And so anything that he creates is beautiful when it comes when we receive it. And I love that. Yeah, exactly that. It's like every day is it actually adds and that's what you want from music, right? That's what you want your music to do. You want it to leave a lasting impact. That's what music should do. And Ren has that power because he understands what it means to put music out with a message. And that's what's really important. We brought Suicide full circle. Yes. Oh my god. When I saw the song was called For Joe, I didn't know what to expect. I think I mentioned in the reaction, and I was like, like this could be really, really upsetting. And it kind of was at moments, but then he had this whole new spin on it where it's this like hopeful, almost nostalgic remembering of the people that we've lost. And I was like, this is such a beautiful, like full circle, like you mentioned, kind of turn from the first song, Suicide, to the release of For Joe, which is like this celebration of him. And that's such a beautiful way to go about it. Yeah, yeah, it's true. I feel like I have a voice now, something I never felt I had. Yeah, 100%. And that's honestly like one of my favorite things about this community as a whole is like I feel like a lot of us didn't have a place to talk about some of the things in our lives that are maybe more painful or just things that we feel like we can't be vulnerable about. But here we're able to talk about everything, and part of that is like Ren's music obviously plays a huge role in that, right? But on top of that, it's also a testament to you guys because you guys are so fantastic. And I say this a lot and I mean it every time I say it. This community is so powerful because of the love and the care that we share and the ability for anyone to kind of come in and be a part of the conversation and talk about the things that matter to them and talk about the things in their life that are happening and to be welcomed and to be kind of cared for it's beautiful, and I love seeing that. I love seeing that so much. I've never been so artist captivated. The tale is so captivating. Yeah, 100%. That's one of the most insane stories that's ever been written, and it was sang like that's nuts. Excitement for music and life. Yes, it's that same like excitement I had when I heard like Green Day was dropping the song or something like that. Like it's, or there was this one band called Erasmus. I don't know if you guys have ever heard In the Shadows, but that song came out and I was like, this is my anthem because that's it. um, yeah, yeah, but it was a great comparison. 100%. It felt like a healing, and that's exactly it, right? I think a lot of people forget that in order to heal, you need to identify what the problem is or what like the issue is at hand. And so sometimes that means coming face to face with the things that hurt us the most. And that is not something we're always capable of doing on our own. And that's the power that music and this community has, is that we give people a place where they can explore themselves and kind of like get an understanding of what truly is at the root of some of the pains that we feel. And I think that's amazing. The subject matter was my life for a while. Yeah, 100%. Social media. If you... I think this is exactly like, this is it. See what I mean, guys? Like even here in the live, we have people supporting one another, and I love you guys because this is what we need. We need more of this in the world. We need more of this camaraderie, more of this compassion, of this unity that we're seeing here. Oh, fantastic. Not only makes me think how can I be better, but makes me think how can I help other people feel better. Exactly that. And because this is a social experience. We're not here on earth alone. We're here with billions of other people, literally. And it's about learning about them actually helps learn about us, but also helping them helps us, right? People feel most empowered when they're also helping other people. And that's not an accident. Yeah, I haven't been this excited about music in a while. Like NF, I think was the last one to kind of put me up to this energy, and Ed Sheeran also. And then I found Harry Mack, and he was pretty good. But there's a different style of excitement that Ren brings because it's a powerful song every single time. It's not just like fun or clever. It's powerful, and that's what's different. You know the Rasmus, yes, yes. Yeah, for Joe's obviously so personal to him, but it speaks to everyone who has lost them. And that's just it. And I mentioned this like about my grandma. I actually have a picture of my grandma if you guys want to see. She's like right next to my desk. There was one time where we were sitting and she saw I had new glasses and I told her to try them on and she did so. She was so cool. She was man, she was more insightful than anyone I've ever met, and I was just so lucky to have her in my life. Or like a 14-year-old. I cannot get any of my local folks to get excited about Ren. Really, I'm surprised. Maybe it takes a certain attitude to be open to Ren and what he brings. I guess you're right, because to a certain extent, Ren's music is heavy, right? And if you're someone like, if someone likes mumble rap, they're probably not gonna like Ren. Like, not to, I don't mean to like generalize or anything like that, but mumble rap and Ren are two very different experiences, right? Mumble rap is usually like braggadocious, talking about like relatively, I think, not important things. And then Ren is complete opposite of that. So if you're someone who likes that, you're probably not gonna like Ren. And I'm sure there are other genres that we can make the same comparison to, but that's kind of what I mean in that Ren is a very different animal. Ren is not just music, Ren is a movement. And that's the difference between him and other artists that are out there. 50 in a few weeks. Happy early birthday. Find the issues and facing them, even though, yeah, 100%. There you go. And I love that. And man, just that's it, guys. Like we got to be here for each other, right? Like we're the most important thing is knowing that we're not alone. And I think in a lot of ways, Ren the reason partly that his music has been so impactful is that there are a lot of people that did feel alone until they got to the point where they found Ren's music, where they realized that they're not the only person feeling this way. Yeah, she was killing with those sunglasses. I loved it. Yeah, 100%. It's a movement, right? It's a movement. It's not just music, it's a movement. And that's the power that Ren has. That's truly the power that music has and artistry as a whole. But it's just that Ren seems to be the only person that has kind of figured out how to navigate that best. And he's now bringing out like-minded people that are also pretty good at it, but we just never had a chance to be exposed to them. Like you guys talked about Romaine, like we've been talking about like other artists, like just Chinchilla, all like the whole crew, right? These artists who are very very talented and powerful in their own right that we may not have had exposure to, but Ren actually gives us awareness, and that's the power. Oh, 100%. And that's to say, and it's totally fair. Like, if you like music for just background, that's totally cool. I do that too sometimes, right? When I'm like, literally, when I was just talking about when I go for my walks at night, like, I'm usually listening just for a vibe as I'm walking, because I'm looking up at the stars most of the time. But then when I'm like sitting at home, when I'm actually listening, when I'm truly hearing the music, that's a different experience. And I'm looking for different things to listen to, like Ren. It's a cult. No, 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 book club. It's totally a book club. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, this is a book club. 100%. There is one more song I think that could be interesting to hear if you guys want to take a listen. It's a very different experience. Um, but it was actually shown to me by a friend of mine. Let's just take a look, and if we like it, we'll continue. If we don't like it, we will stop. It's so not what you expect, and because of that, I love it. I haven't heard that yet. Bittersweet Symphony retake.
You're looking for a starship lately. Something with comfort, speed, and style. I'll get you to agree that maybe there's just one tip that's worth your while. Stupid as the core reactor to make the light years feel like miles. With just a little antimatter, hardwood floors instead of tile. You've got to get it. You can buy on credit.
It would be a bad book club. That's 100% true. Yeah. Yeah, it is. I'll pause it there for a second. This is the vibe of the song. I thought it'd be fun to listen to because it's done as an ad. If you listen to the lyrics, this whole song is done as an ad. But it's like it's a futuristic ad using lyricism that takes like words that make sense for the future, but then uses a super retro style of video that acts as like this juxtaposition that creates such a cool energy for the song, and I love it. I love that so much. If you guys want, we can listen to the rest, but if we want to stop there, we can totally stop there too. I'll also link it just so you guys can see it. Your grandchildren, yeah, 100%. It's kind of cool. It's got a nice vibe to it. Yeah, it's like almost like synth rock, I think. Like it's kind of got that energy to it. Here, we'll finish it. We'll finish it. Yeah, we'll let it ride. I like that. I like that. It's a starship. It's a starship Velociraptor advertisement. I love this. Prog rock. Ooh, that'd be great. They are, yeah. But yeah, that's another whole completely different experience of song, and this is definitely one of those ones you kind of like have in the background. But damn, if that does not go hard, if you ever decide to watch it again, it's meant as like an advertisement for the Starship Velociraptor, which is not at all real, but the commitment to making this thing seem real with like the 2000 light year guarantee, which can we just talk about how much of a guarantee that is? 2000 light years? That's a long distance. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. That'd be really cool if the singer had like this big hair. Oh my, that'd be awesome. And it just like goes all the way down. Oh, that'd be so cool. That'd be so cool. Yeah, just like you know, I can't do it, but like someone else could totally do this. I don't know if I could get like a filter with like hair going back and forth. That'd be kind of cool. So just so everyone's aware, I will have to go in 11 minutes. So at 4:30, I did have a hard cutoff. So we are down to about the last 10 minutes of stream, but this will not be our last stream. We will do more streams because this has been a hell of a time. I have loved spending time with you guys. Actually, like with a back and forth, this has been phenomenal. I've had such a great time. So thank you guys so much for just probably the best live I could have asked for. I love you all. Like this is a blast. This is a freaking blast. Oh, if anyone doesn't know, Bananas is like one of my closest friends. Fantastic dude. Give a shout out to Bananas for a second, even though he's flaming me for not answering his calls, but it's fine. I hope that one of the Bananas. That'd be great. Yeah, like man, love you too, man. Love you too. It was funny. Yeah, it's great. Well, you know what we'll do for like coming streams and stuff. We'll do like I'll put together songs that I think that maybe not we haven't all heard of that we could be interested in, and we'll do like a showcase every now and then. um, where we kind of explore new music. Thank you guys for that. Yeah, it was fantastic. It was fantastic. I man, honestly, guys, like I know I say this and it's gonna get all mushy and stuff, but like when I started this channel, I didn't know whether or not people would watch, and I could not have asked for a better community. Like you guys, this feels so real. This feels so like I've been saying Ren is powerful, but you guys are powerful as well. Like it's just such a fantastic energy. There's so much support. There's so much love, and you can feel the comfort that everyone has with each other and the level of compassion that we share with each other. And it quite literally is something that has changed my life for the better. Like you guys have impacted me in a way that I can't even explain. It's such a crazy feeling. So thank you so much for that. Damn, like, yeah, you guys are awesome. I love you all. And I every time I say it at the end of a video, like, I mean it. Or like, I mean it. It's awesome. Ren is the start of the, yeah, yeah. I'm glad that Ren like brought us together. I'm very, very glad for that. Thanks for caring. No, you don't have to thank me for that. Like I literally like from the depth of my heart, I love each and every one of you. I care about you guys, like genuinely. And if any of you are ever feeling like you need someone to talk to, like you guys know I'm here for it, right? Like it's just please feel free to reach out at any point, any time, and just we'll just jive, like whatever. If you just need someone to hang out with, that's cool too. Like I love it. I love this. I love this experience. This is fantastic. And life is in my opinion, the most important thing in life is connections. And the most important thing in life is understanding and getting to know one another, because we don't take anything with us when we go. As far as we know, nothing gets taken with us. So it's really what we build here that matters the most, and what we're building here is love, and it's community, and it's powerful, and I love that. Oh man, oh thank you so much, Becca. I really appreciate that. No, I like you guys are awesome. I love it. Like so much love, so much love. I love you guys. Yeah, it is. It's kind of crazy, right? Like it's it. Oh, by the way, I'm sure many of you know, but my name is Nav. My actual name is Nav. But I do go by Shadow most of the time. On YouTube. But feel free to call me Nav too. So like you can totally, that's totally fine with me. It's actually funny because even with my students, I say like you can call me Mr. Nav, you can call me whatever you want. I don't care. But like here, like you guys, I don't want you to think that you don't get to know my name. My name is Nav. I hope that I have had this dream that one day we are all gonna meet at like a Ren concert, and I know it is possible. It's pretty much impossible for all of us to meet at the same Ren concert, but that would be like an actual dream come true if we were able to do that. That'd be so awesome. Unless your handle is your real name, that's true. That's 100% true. It's a cool space for people. I haven't been in other live chats with. Yeah, see, that's the thing. Like, and there, I'm sure there will come a time where in the live chats there will be like people that show up to like troll us and stuff like that. But we're stronger than that, right? We can all recognize when someone is being genuine and when someone's being not so genuine, and so we'll be above that. And I love that here we haven't ever seen that so far, right? There's just it's been simply like care, love, and all that, and it's fantastic. Becca, you champ. Becca is a champ. Now, are you the favorite teacher? I I don't want to say yes or no to that because I don't necessarily know. I will say I'm definitely in the running. But I don't like that seems weird to say. I so Holly, yes, but also not. I don't know. I don't know. Hey, this. Did I pronounce that right? Is it Innes? So I didn't know, Rob, if your actual name was Rob or if it was like something else that was your name and that's just how you made up. But now I know that it's Rob, so I'm gonna start calling you Rob instead of UK. I need my case. Oh my God, Devish, thank you so much. I'm freaking. I'm glad that you. I don't even know what to say. That's ridiculous. Thank you so much. I'm so glad that you enjoyed. I hope that like we all enjoyed, but Jesus, I don't even know what to say to that. Thank you. Thank you. Rob, I feel like we're now almost like an AA meeting. Special concept. Yeah, yeah, for the Renegades, exactly. That'd be so cool. Oh my God, that'd be amazing. Yeah, I don't even, oh my God. Honestly, yeah, that is like, thank you. You're going through exactly that. Like you're doing, I don't even know what to say. I get flustered in moments like these because I don't know how to thank you, but thank you. Like that's just, it just means a lot. It means a lot. I'm your favorite teacher. Thank you so much. I haven't even taught anything yet. I don't feel. I guess the breakdowns are almost like a lesson in some ways, but like I feel like that's more of a journey that we're all taking together. You know what I mean? So those don't ever feel like. Yeah, it never feels like doing a lesson. It feels like listening together. And genuinely that's been kind of the coolest thing is like before I used to listen to new music and I used to think of it from my perspective like, oh, this is kind of cool, this is kind of cool, but now I think of it from our perspective, and that adds like a whole level to it. I love it. And then something I did mention is like maybe I'll put out a Google form or something on the channel. If you guys ever have like a topic that you'd like me to talk about like from a teacher perspective. Oh yeah, I'll bring an apple for the next stream. Oh, I should have an apple on the stream. That's a great idea, Rob. If there's ever anything that comes up that you want to kind of know more about, I'll put out a little link like a Google form that you can kind of fill out, and sometimes on the live streams you can just do like a lesson on whatever that thing is. So like I obviously teach science and math. Science is probably the thing that's going to be the most interesting thing to teach, but I also do social science. So like psychology, anthropology, sociology. So if there's ever anything that comes to mind, we could do that as part of the live stream too. I think that'd be a lot of fun. Yeah, okay. So just a full disclaimer. No one has to pay anything. I appreciate so much that you guys have given donations today. I honestly like geez, I don't even know what to say. Like it truly just love you guys so much, but like you no one has to pay. I don't want you to feel like you have to do that. Please don't feel like you have to. Just your awesomeness is in and of itself payment, but like I yeah, just you guys are fantastic. Guys, it's got to be red. Come on. This is illegal to have green apples in my classroom. It's got to be red or a black apple, but I feel like you probably shouldn't be eating a black apple. That's probably not a good thing for your digestive system. Maybe don't do that, you know. But I will admit, Rob, green apples definitely taste better. Just gonna, but red, you know, red. Does anyone have any like last minute burning questions that you wanna ask before we go? Math, yeah, it depends on the person, I think. Oh man, yeah, integration and differentiation are very tricky. I'm glad you don't need it anymore. It is honestly, it's the part I found the hardest in math as well. That's exactly it. Like as long just the community is home. You know what I mean? Like this is it's become like a home away from home and I love it. Red and green, that's fair. That's fair. We could do a red and green combo, get the Christmas colors going. The strawberry that got me, dude. Yeah, me too. Me too. Cream with that, yeah. A little bit of whipped cream, some strawberries, you know, get a cake going. It'll be great. Do I speak other languages? I do. I speak very, very minimal math. Oh my god. I'm on vacation mode, so my head is just like swimming with. But I teach. I speak. Holy smokes, guys! Very minimal French. Like I could understand it to a very limited degree. I also speak Punjabi. I speak Hindi. I speak English. I'm trying to learn Japanese, but that is a slow crawl so far. I'm not super good at it yet. What subject do I actually teach? So I teach math, science, biology, social sciences, and guidance. The most recent courses I taught were biology grade 11, science grade 9, and introduction to philosophy. Or sorry, yeah, introduction to philosophy, which that was an amazing course, like getting to think about so many philosophical concepts and having discussions in courses. Never thought that would happen in a class, but that was a blast. Yeah, how is everyone doing? I hope you're all having a lovely weekend. I hope that your Saturday is fantastic, and I hope that your Sunday is even better. Yeah, so I'm actually Indian. My background is like my family was from India. I was born in Canada, but my family is actually from India. So I speak Punjabi. So Sasika, hope you're doing well. If you're from Punjab, that's where my family's from too. Yeah, that's awesome. That's super cool. 43 trying to figure out what the n equals for your son. Yeah, honestly, Rob, if you want to send me, if you ever feel like you need some help trying to figure out a question, just send it to me, and I can try to help you out with that. That's awesome. It's nice to have the weekend off. I'm glad you have the weekend off. That's fantastic. I don't watch cricket. I think cricket's cool. I think it's cooler now that the games are not necessarily super long. Like you can in one sitting you can watch a whole game. And I've never played it, but I do like watching it sometimes with my dad, who is an avid cricket fan. Like he loves cricket, knows every team, basically knows every player. It's fantastic. But I myself, I play baseball. Like I played like AAA baseball for a while. Like I played a lot of baseball. So I prefer baseball to cricket. But no offense to anyone that loves cricket, because I can see the draw. I just happen to play more baseball than I did play cricket. Also in the future, something I do with my classes, I usually start them off with like a question of the day. So I think we're gonna start doing question of the stream. So at the start of the stream, we'll start with the question of the stream that everyone gets a chance to answer and collab, like just learn a little bit about everyone else. And I think that'll be really cool. So that's something I want to tie into the stream as well, which will be fun. I was actually doing it for a bit at the start with my Harry Mack reactions. I was saying, oh, question of the video. But those didn't go very well, so I kind of just stopped doing it because I guess people don't really care for that, so I won't do it anymore. But during the streams, like, God, this has been so much fun getting to know you guys. It'd be awesome. Yeah, he loves it, and it is very much religious for him. He like there'll be times where he'll like wake up at like 3 a.m. because the game is starting, and I'm like, Dad, your passion for this sport is phenomenal, but I could never. I'm usually awake at 3 a.m. to be fair, but I don't think I could wake up to watch a game at 3 a.m. Cricket cult. Yeah, yeah. The players get a lot of respect. A lot of respect. Oh man. Okay, this has been amazing, guys. Shout out to each and every one of you. Like, just the love, the affection, the fantastic nature of everyone in this discussion, in this experience. I am so grateful that you guys are a part of this journey, because it would not at all be the same if this was all on my own. It means the world to me that you guys took time to be here today, and to just sit and chat and jive has been such a gift. So thank you for that. I love each and every one of you so much, and I literally cannot explain the feelings that I have to be a part of this community. It's been amazing. It's been absolutely amazing. I love you too, Carrie. When is the next one? I for sure next weekend we will have one. I anticipate that there will also be a stream during the week. So I'm kind of gonna aim probably for like Monday, if not Tuesday. And then Tuesday would be like a little bit earlier, so probably around like 2 p.m. Eastern. You want me to get up to watch? Yeah, to watch for. I think once you like really love a sport, like you want to be a part of all of it. Kind of like this right now. We love each other, so we want to be a part of each other's lives. It's awesome. And I love you all. I love it. Dude, no need to thank me. It was my pleasure and my joy to be able to share my afternoon with you guys, because this is fantastic. Yes, smile and laugh as much as you can. I love that. I love that. Yeah, let's get some hearts in the chat. I think I just sent like 50. I apologize. It has been a freaking blast, and I cannot wait. Cannot wait to do it again, guys. Yes, you lovely human beings. I love it. Oh my god. Guys, until next time, I hope that your week is better than your day, your month is better than your week, and your year is better than your month. But I hope that you'll be here for the next stream so we can all enjoy this together again. Love you all so much. Oh, it was so awesome. So awesome. We'll do this again, because this is the best. This is absolutely the best. I'll see you guys on the next one. Yeah, I gotta put some hearts. Actually, I gotta do that too. Some hearts in the chat. Love each and every one of you. Keep smiling, keep enjoying life. Yeah, anytime, man, anytime. I don't even want to go, but I know I have to, but I don't want to go. Oh, it's the worst. It's the worst. Ah. All right, y'all. Love you all. See you soon.